Okay.
So this is tips on how to be a better girlfriend or boyfriend for depressed guys or depressed people. So the main thing you need to know if you're planning on dating somebody with depression is come prepared. So bring little treats to feed him if he doesn't want to eat, like pizza rolls or chicken nuggets, something easy.
All right, while you read these, we gotta go to the bathroom.
Give him little sips of beer throughout the day to boost his confidence. So if you have chosen to date somebody with depression, like they're your responsibility now. Kind of like if you buy a parrot, you can't just they live to be 200 and you can't just get rid of them. So if you're dating a guy with depression, then if you break up with him, that's really messed up. That's not you don't know what he's capable of. So you can't do that. So keep that in mind if you start dating somebody with it, because that's your problem. So if you are dating a person that's not depressed and then they become depression while you're dating them, just remember it's 100% your fault. They weren't depressed before you dated them. They weren't. That's fact. They weren't. You look at their pictures, they're happy. So maybe you haven't been just putting enough effort out there. You never know what's going on inside of a person's head, but just doesn't come from nowhere. Maybe give them more sips of beer that you carry around with you, or offer to give them effort-free sex, where they lie on their back and they don't move, they don't even make a sound, they just come wordlessly when they're done. Maybe do that. And not be selfish with your time or your effort with somebody. And, if you don't like a guy because he's mopey and his socks are wet all the time, thanks, you're stigmatizing mental health. You're really not going to date somebody that's depressed is not, choosing to not date somebody because they're black or a black guy or Asian.
Here, I got you more beer.
Thank you.
All I have left is what Desmond left, his non-alcoholic kind, but I put some vermouth in there.
Oh, God. It's going to be awful.
Tastes better than most stuff.
If your boyfriend is too sad to... I don't know who needs to hear this, but if your boyfriend is too sad to talk, that doesn't mean he doesn't want to communicate. Most communication is actually nonverbal. So you should see if he wants to have sex, because that's a great way to feel closeness without burdening him about the details of your day or who's out to get you at work or stuff like that. He's too depressed to hear that, but he's not depressed enough to have sex where you're on top and you're doing all the stuff, and he's maybe on his phone playing Clash of Clans or watching Hot Ones. I know that's kind of your move, Jerome.
Yeah.
Sometimes...
I wish we could go on Hot Ones, but I don't think,
We're not fucking good enough to go. Are you kidding? Why would you even bring that up, Jerome?
Well, I think, those...
We're not fucking good enough to be on Hot Ones.
Hot sauces would kill you.
We're not fucking those types of guys to be on Hot Ones. We'll never be on Hot Ones, Jerome.
Maybe that, Man, I'll talk to my dad.
We're not those kind of guys. Let's just face it. We can't write poems.
I could go on it. The hot sauce would kill you.
We can't do nothing, all right? We're not going to be there, so don't even dream about it. But sometimes depressed boyfriends or girlfriends, they say horrible, evil, incredibly specific things, mocking your body, your personality, your past, or even, threatening. They'll threaten to send everyone your nudes. Before you get all defensive, remember, that's not them talking. That's their depression. So they're completely not responsible for that behavior. So you can't even really get mad at a depressed person for doing something like that, because that's the illness taking over. It's not their fault. You can't like get mad at you wouldn't get mad at a guy with Lou Gehrig's disease for hitting a home run, would you? You wouldn't get mad at a guy with Stephen Hawking disease for being in a wheelchair. You wouldn't do that. So don't get mad at a guy with depression for showing up at your job and knocking all the displays over because you didn't, agree to be his boyfriend or listen to his podcast. Like, that's the depression talking. And my last tip is sometimes like depressed people just want to back out of stuff. Like, you got to let them. Like, if they don't want to meet your parents or go on like dates or have like their wedding anniversary, like, it's nothing personal. That's like, we know it's annoying because like we're depressed and we suck and that we know you hate us, but like it's not our fault. And what, you're gonna get mad? Because if you're gonna get mad at me, I'm gonna put on all my coats and go walk into the ocean. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? I'm sorry I'm not Hot Ones, Jerome. Wake up.
What?
I'm sorry I'm not Hot Ones. I guess I disappointed you. You're acting like a girl when I have sex with her.
Just fall asleep.
I know. This is bullshit. This is so fucking bullshit, dude.
That's not my fault. You know I'm sick.
Yeah, you're always sick because you keep poisoning yourself. I thought you did that at parties, and now you just do it all the time. So you can take selfies where you have a big hot water bottle on your head and upload it to Snapchat, going, "Who's gonna take care of me?"
You can see I'm sick. I put the glass thermometer in my mouth too.
Yeah, but you warmed it up. You warmed it
Reads
up.
101.
You had it in boiling water.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. You get it to all the way at the end where it's about to burst, and then you put it in the mouth, and then it boils over and bursts, and you go, "Wow, guess I really am sick. Who's going to take care of me? Afterwards, I'll take you to Hawaii."
I want to talk about... I have a list I made of the top 10 saddest songs of all time.
Fine.
Number 10 is Hank Williams, "I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry."
Yeah, that's a sad one, I guess. It's like a little...
Number 9, Alice in Chains,
for me.
Nutshell. Number 8, John Prine, Sam Stone.
I don't know what that song is.
Number 7, Pearl Jam, Black. Number 6, George Jones, He Stopped Loving Her Today.
Who the fuck is George Jones? Is he like a cowboy?
Number 5, Nirvana, Something in the Way.
Oh, I wish I was Kurt Cobain, man.
I'm more like Kurt than you.
Well, my posture's as bad as his was. Also,
Number
none of
4,
my clothes
Harry
fit.
Chapin, Cats in the Cradle.
You know, he changed his name to Yusuf Islam.
No, the song is called... Never mind.
Changed the name of the song.
Number 3, REM, Everybody Hurts.
Yeah, but not as
Number
much as me. That'd be what I would remix it as.
Number 2, Nine Inch Nails, Hurt. Actually, the Johnny Cash one. Number 1, Eric Clapton, Tears in Heaven. I've never heard any of these songs.
I thought it was like I thought you made the list.
What's the list I made?
You didn't make it. You just said you haven't heard any of it.
I made the list. I looked up the saddest songs of all time.
You didn't make the list. Where'd you get it from? Hold on. Where's my laptop? Where's my MacBook?
I made the list.
Saddest
I typed it all up.
Songs.
Don't look it up. Joe.
Oh,
Come on, Joe.
That's a Rolling Stone list.
No, it's not.
Even though that's fine, I hope they sue us, and I hope we lose all of our money, and then you feel bad about it.
Yeah, what money?
Yeah, that's true. We don't have to pay rent on this house, which is fine. We had to move back into Boost House Midwest. About, we don't really have any money for anything other than beer. Steve Roggenbuck left like a dog food bag sized thing of oats here 10 years ago.
All he ate was dog food.
And we've just been eating that for...
I mean, I have like 50K in my account, but I don't want to use it.
Yeah, I still get the Spotify royalties. But like, how the fuck is like anyone gonna support my stupid podcast unless I like tell them I'm like struggling?
Well, I tell my dad that I'm depressed, and he said that he should get us a pool and put it in the back.
Oh yeah, like I have a pool. I'm happy now. Thanks.
Like I tell him no, Joe would just walk into it and.
Thanks, Jerome's dad. Guess I'll go swimming and I'll be happy.
He says that he could offer like us, treatment, or. And I said, well, we're not really depressed. We just like being sad. And he just doesn't get it.
Well,
they just don't get it.
I'm just like, if he could like buy steak, and if he could get like poems back cool again, that's like the main thing he could do. Like if he could buy, like GE and get us on NBC, get poems, like a poem night on NBC. Maybe he could buy Jacobin and put poems on there, and we could do some poems for Jacobin, and
he might be able to get us a deal with like Microsoft or like their platform mixer, or like we could direct like commercials for Windows, and how it can help your sadness. Or
we just need to get Apple, like it's every artist's dream to get like that Microsoft money,
or Apple even. Like we can make operating systems more sad. They should be more sad.
Yeah, like a micro, like the
your brightness on your screen should be more dim.
The cursor, like it slumps, like when you click something, like I don't want to do it like that.
Yeah, like you click on something and you hear a computer just like go.
Like if you like click on like an LMFAO song, your computer crashes.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about something. I don't know if is your list stuff done or
what?
Is your Rolling Stone list? Is it a 10-song list?
This is my list.
So I wanted to like talk about like how toxic the internet is, and like everybody says toxic now. Everybody says toxic stuff. Like we're living in
saying toxic is toxic.
We're living in the only generation of the internet that's like been damaging. Like people can say whatever they want now, and they used to not be able to do that. Like you used to be able to like in playing Counter-Strike even as a kid. I remember in like 2002 or something, like everyone was nice, everyone was like said the right thing to you all the time, like there was none of this like negativity.
Mean.
Yeah And like I'm depressed, so like I feel like when I write an article that's going to be on like Paste or something, that it should have a little asterisk on it, and it says like, hey, the author of this is depressed, so you shouldn't be mean to him. You should not hey,
you shouldn't give any criticism.
No, no quote tweeting this article. The writer has depression, please. Just leave him alone or compliment him. If you're a girl, just say hi, check in on him. But I wrote an article.
DM him and like some of his other stuff. Maybe go through his media tab and like a picture of him.
Yeah, like a picture of me from like
a picture of him. He's like decided to start throwing weights around. He's very sweaty and disgusting, and it's a selfie in the gym.
Yeah, like a picture of me to know if you want to like be serious. Like a picture of me from like 2018. Like go way back and find a picture of me and like it. And like that's how I know you're doing what I do to you, and I've probably already done to you. Anyway, I wrote an article, and everybody's been dunking on me all week. Not dunking like I used to do at Duke, but dunking like making fun of me. And so like I've been afraid to like log on the internet and stuff. So my article was called How the Depressed Know the POC Struggle Even Better Than POCs Themselves. And it was like a really well-written, well-articulated, thoroughly researched article. I quoted like, James Baldwin and other black guys so that no one would get mad at me, and everyone still got mad at me. But like, really, what I'm just trying to say is that like depressed people are persons of color, which I still defend, and I still think it's true. And everyone turned against me. A very displeasing looking Miss Frizzle type of woman led the charge. She kept saying I did a no growth. I don't know what that means. They kept saying I got my wig snatched, which it's my real hair. I just kind of look like, Garth Brooks' alter ego, Chris Gaines. It's not a wig. I was told Black Twitter wasn't having me, and I spent many hours trying to figure out what Black Twitter was. I assumed it was like a Robert Smith style negative Twitter world where everybody was like posting dark things or dark thoughts without like moderation. And it turned out to just be people of color that
sounds really good.
They kept accusing me. They would quote tweet it and then say stuff like I washed my chicken with soap, or and I don't know what that means. They kept saying that I like put mayo. I don't know what any of it meant, but everybody was having a good laugh at me. And, I usually sleep like 14 hours. I slept a good 22 hours that day. I was a trending topic and got no positive DMs. I wasted a lot of time getting like fake ones. And after all the abuse, like I killed myself. Like I did it.
Wow.
And I posted about it. And here I am today, all the stronger for it. No one really bought the. No one really.
You died, so now you're here.
Yeah.
So now we have nothing to lose.
That'll
really.
show them. That's what I said in my suicide note, which no one's even collected yet. It's still on my bedside table. If you want to like send that to the media or something.
Not a lot of people like really noticed you killed yourself. So.
Well, like I'm still posting and I'm still on social media and stuff like that because I still like want to talk to people. But like, I went in my room and I did it. I said, I'm dead. 3 times. Beetlejuice rules. And so when they find out, they'll be fucking sorry for whatever they said. All the girls that ever dated me will be sorry for what they did to me. All the girls will be sorry, for not following most of my rules in a relationship. But whatever, here I am today and I'm dead and I killed myself and, I'm fine now. I'm fine, but like, it's serious. So if I say I'm going to do it, people should take it seriously.
While we've been recording, I wrote a poem. I can't.
Dude, I thought.
I can't help it. I can't go like a day without writing one.
I know. I started the podcast with a poem too. Fuck. Like we're destined to just be jokes. Might as well embrace it. Here we are, a couple of fucking jokes.
It's just, yeah. It's just the way it is.
Fuck.
Jerome and Joseph Rogan, no relation, just together as usual. Not getting any text back, not getting any likes on anything, not getting a message out of anywhere, even though you say not feeling good, could really use someone to talk to tonight, slanty face.
Hey, I just read
and then you like every single tweet.
Oh yeah,
from every person that you follow, every female you follow, of every tweet they made in the past 24 hours, and you still get nothing back.
And go through their like tabs and see who they're liking, so that you can block them. And just like
I DM'd you, and you pretended to not be online or see it, and then I could see you liking
other tweets. Like, what's up?
Liking other tweets.
Just wanted to know what's up. Like, if you don't like me, you should just block me now because I'm not going to be, like, mistreated. So I noticed one of your tweets, and I just thought I would, hop in real quick here. Sorry if it's weird. Just tell you that I think you're really funny. So, all right. If that's awkward, I'm sorry. Bye. And then I just refresh.
Okay, I'm awkward as hell. LMAO. Sorry.
And then, 4 hours later, I'll be like, sorry, haha, I was drunk. Forget I ever said anything. And then...
Sorry, my brother got on my phone.
Yeah. Sorry, that was my friends playing a prank.
Sorry, I was walking around and my Twitter app opened up and, I butt DM'd you that I really, really like you. That was just, that was like auto, finish.
Listen, I never say this to anybody, but, like, you just seem insanely talented. And, could I just talk to you for a minute?
I know you're 20, but I'm sensing you have the spirit of someone twice your age.
You're really mature for your age. I get all those college boys don't even know what to do with you, huh?
You're just like, you're just putting yourself out there. You see Andy Richter doing it.
Yeah.
Why can't I do it? And I'm younger than him, and I look like less like shit than him. I wish I looked as shitty as him and was as depressed as him. He's like the king.
Yeah, why is Andy Richter, like, replying to so many women with sub 2,000 followers and not messaging any guys at all, and also he just got a divorce? Because he's the man, and I have to be like him.
So this promo I wrote, I call it my bitch depression. Hey, depression. You're my girlfriend now. That's cool. I don't want to be alone anyway. Not. If I feel like not cleaning up my clothes, you don't care. Fuck it. I'm just a guy with a chronic illness. It's called love. And to not be given enough, well, that's just depression. When I'm hungover, that's depression. When I bust and fall asleep immediately, depression. When a girl doesn't fuck me, that's depression. But that's fine, because depression fucks me anyway. That's it.
Like, I don't want to snap or anything, because
you know that's good. You know that's fucking good. I don't want
this to be a poetry thing, because it's just, we're just gonna, we can't do the poetry stuff, man. Like, even, but it was really, really fucking good. And you are the most talented person I've ever met, and you have a beautiful, twisted, dark soul. And I feel like
it's just trying to lash out and, escape. Doesn't know what to do.
I feel like you're like a Christopher Marlowe type talent or something, or a Edgar Allan Poe that, like, your contemporaries don't know what to do with you. And 100 years from now,
Poe wore a beanie.
Like 100 years from now, some like professor, who I assume is a woman, with like big she's a woman and, wearing a nice sweater. It's filled out proportionally. And she's perusing the internet looking for poetry history. And she comes upon Jerome Duraproix. And next thing you know, there's a Jerome Duraproix movie where you're played by, like, whoever Matthew McConaughey's grandson will be. And I'll be played by, like, Eric Wareheim. And that'll be, like, you're going to be the biggest thing in the fucking history of the world.
Honestly, I think you're right.
But we're artists, so we got to stay tortured for now. Nobody likes us. Nobody knows what to do with us. People just look at our brains and they fear us. They leave us on red.
We could go, if you want, we could just go. It's like kind of trickling outside. It's dark. We go stand out there on our phones and share a cigarette.
All right. I have
We're just gonna delete this anyway, so
I have a really tiny jacket that I can put over both our heads where we both get mostly wet.
Okay.
All right. So this has been the first episode of the Sadcast. The Patreon's already been up for a week, so
no one's gonna listen. We're gonna delete it.
Yeah, we'll probably do that. Don't save it, because we're just fucking losers. Fuck it, whatever.
Please don't light the candle. My seasonal depression candle.
Saturday, December 21st, E1 Live at the Hideout in Chicago, featuring Chapo Trap House Funny Man, Felix Peterman.
Gather round that gay old pole, dance your feet to and fro. When the flag goes up, so do bottoms. The beer is cold as a Harvard autumn.
Tickets available on the internet if you Google it. Saturday, December 21st at the Hideout.
The following is an archived podcast presented by the Branson and Hudson Foundation for Podcast Recovery. This podcast is entitled Forever Young Adults, an exploration of YA literature and culture. It is the first and only episode of the podcast. Welcome to episode 1.
Greetings, you dreamers, you readers, you future leaders of the world. You're woke, you're beautiful, and you are strong. You deserve to be happy. Hello. Welcome to Forever Young Adults, an exploration of YA literature and culture. Regardless of your age, we are all joined together by a passion for what I think is the purest form of writing. The warmth, the hope, and the resilience that is embodied in your just average day-to-day teenager. My name is Betsy Lavender. I'm a writer of YA literature, and I am joined here by two of my very dear friends who are also writers, C.A. Walker and Quince Drumheller. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, Betsy. Great to be here.
Thank you for having us on, Betsy. This is a tremendous achievement.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm quite proud of the production we are putting here today. I do think, especially nowadays, even more than ever, it is really important to just have kind of a voice, I wouldn't say justifying because we have nothing to prove, but really advocating for YA culture in a culture that is more and more seeming to disvalue our work in ways that I find minimizing, sexist, and, well, we can get into all that later. I want to talk about how great it is, and I brought to you two because you guys are so talented that I thought that you'd be a good representation for us to put out there, and a good face on YA literature in general. So thank you so much for coming. It's my pleasure to have you guys.
I know it is.
Well, let's start with you, Quince. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, your start into writing, what you've written, and we'll round it out.
Well, I didn't really start writing until after college. I went to Brown for a number of years to get my bachelor's in what you'd think literature, but it was actually economics is what I was pursuing at the time. Yeah. And I would, say that I wasn't always big on books. I was more into videotapes growing up.
Like VHSs or?
Sure. And I really got into writing when I read, I was in the library one time and I came across a book that really struck me, and I thought, well, maybe I could write books. And the book was one of the Captain Underpants books, a little bit lower age than what I write for now. But I thought, if I could be affected by something like this, then maybe I could write something like this, and maybe with a little more of a serious tone. And I haven't actually had anything published until last year when I wrote my first book, and that was the Hemlock.
It's a wonderful series.
Days of Hemlock. Yeah, part 1 in the Demon Cycle.
Wonderful book. Really topped the charts with it. It was one of the most impressive debuts I've ever seen.
Thank you. And for those who don't know, Hemlock is about a Days of Hemlock, I'm sorry. I call it Hemlock for short. All the fans, all the Hemlockies call it that.
Right, lockheads they call themselves.
Right, and it follows the life of Silas Hedgemage. Silas Hedgemaze, who is a junior in high school, who mostly keeps to himself, you know, only socializing with his close friends.
Right.
And he's always kind of felt like an outsider, you know, where's my place in the world?
Right.
I'm not like everyone else. There's something different about me. I
Right.
wish I could be normal.
Right.
And he, you know, so when his parents divorced, which is the worst thing that could ever happen to anyone.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, he's a character.
Right.
But it's
you
based
know,
on people who really do have parents who get divorced.
Right.
And so he came to Hemlock to live with his father while his mother traveled, doing what? He never knew. She was always very secretive about it.
Oh, my.
And Silas's father, he He was an archaeologist who was a professor at Hemlock University, which is in the town of Hemlock. And even though he's always felt he was different, Silas will soon discover something inside him he never even thought was possible.
Which is?
Well, you got to read the book
You
to
gotta
find
read
out.
the book.
I mean,
I
well,
know.
I actually, I'm teasing, of course, but there's a lot of stuff in it that I don't want to spoil, but I brought
Right.
some excerpts. And,
Well, we can get into those in a little bit.
He has like his best friend Kramer Sockwood, who's kind of the a little bit humorous, kind of a little bit of a
A goofball.
an airhead, yeah, goofball, but he's as loyal as they come.
Right.
And then there's of course his crush, Sable Wellington, jet
Ooh.
black hair, green eyes like emeralds, and she's the daughter of the owner of the town.
Oh, he owns the whole town.
And she's the leader of all these school clubs. She's got straight A's. So her dad can't exactly be mad at her, but she's constantly rebelling against his wishes. She's kind of like a little activist, and I love that about her character. Not to mention she's gorgeous.
Right. And how old is she?
She's 16.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, great character, wonderful series. Turning my attention now.
Well, it's not a
to-
series yet. It's an ongoing series. I just had the
Well,
one book
you've
written.
already you and Penguin already have a deal for what? 6 more books?
Yes, I've only had the one come out. I'm working on the other one. I only have about 150 words written.
Well, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, it's been like half a year I've taken to write that, and they're really getting on me. But you can't rush good art.
I've got to say,
that
Quince,
is
I've been
true.
hearing some Hollywood buzz around that first one. I mean, it was a very precocious debut from a new writer.
Well, there's the Netflix deals that, fingers crossed is coming through. It's going to help a lot of the YA writers in the community really, monetize further what has turned out to be quite a lucrative field. Moving away from that, CA Walker, why don't you tell us a little bit about your work, what motivated you to write, how'd you get into writing?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's some uncanny similarities between Quince and I. I mean, I also never really fancied myself a writer until I was in college. But, growing up, I was something of an intellectual and a child prodigy. I mean, think about this. I learned to play checkers when I was 7. I learned to play
Wow.
chess when I was 9.
Oh,
Can you imagine?
That's
I was playing
remarkable.
chess at age 9. There's grandmasters out there playing chess. I'm playing it at age 9. So
Were
I
you
kind of
playing
knew.
against grandmasters or?
Oh, of course not. I was a 9-year-old.
Oh, okay. I thought you were used that as like a thing. I thought that.
No, I'm just
that's what you
saying.
meant.
Think about the people who play this game, and I'm playing it when I'm 9. I'm meant to be something special, Like I kind of always knew that I was richer and smarter than the other kids,
Right. And I understand.
So,
Mr.
I knew-
Walker, I'm a big fan. I love both of your work, both of you. Awesome books, incredible series, incredible writing. But I was curious. I want to ask you this before, and we've discussed kind of stuff like this before, but I want to talk about it on the show. Have you considered writing a book about checkers?
Well, in my books, the wizards play all kinds of wizardly games. So I don't think it would really be appropriate for me to
Well, I
talk
thought
about.
maybe a different series. Maybe you can make a series about checkers.
Well, I'm about 37 books into this series, and I'm really trying to finish it out. I think I got maybe 40 or 50 more in me, and then I'll finish it out and move on to something like that maybe. But because I was so precocious, I was always into like numbers. I never really read books, I just read numbers so I could get smarter at it.
right.
And I was going to become a statistician, one of those guys who goes to Wall Street and makes a lot of money. But then, while I was in college, I read my first book of words. It's called Harry Potter.
Oh, that's your first book of not numbers.
That was the
Yeah.
first book you ever read?
That was the first book I ever read, and it's also the most recent book I've read again. I was just, spellbound by these magical characters. I got my start in writing fan fiction. And due to ongoing litigation, I actually am not at liberty
Right.
to tell you what fan fiction what series of magical books that was based on. But I will say that it inspired my series that I've been writing ever since, The Properly Preposterous Misadventures of Timothy Thompson Worthingtonshire.
Well, that sounds really good. I like that.
Yeah, I've written 37 books in about 3 years, and they just keep on coming. You know, ever since I started reading, the inspiration just never stopped.
Well, what I found was interesting in your fourth book in the series, it was all pictures. You're like, well, I'm going to take this whole thing is turned on its head. I'm going to make it a picture book. You said, you know, these teens, you know, they're working too hard in school, having to read too much. I'll make it a little bit easier for them, and it's completely illustrated. And I thought that was great.
Yeah, as I have so much sympathy for them because I never read a single book until after I was a teenager. So I see them working so hard, and it just seems like life used to be much harder, or it's harder now than it ever was before in history. You know, like these kids are really getting overworked.
These kids have to deal with school shootings once a year, like clockwork. They have to deal with pregnancies. There's temptation from all the beer that they see in the media. Really a lot of things going on for teens, and I really think that's why it's important that like older people like us tell them how to handle it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
but there's one
kids
thing
used
I
to have
want to clarify. I want to clarify though that even though I write young adult books, they're very popular with adults. They have a lot of mature
that's
themes.
Something, yeah.
No doubt.
I would say the majority of my books are bought from adults, like older, mousy-looking women, men with goatees that are just still holding on to that goatee look, maybe goatee and glasses. Those are like probably, I would say, my core group of fans is people that look like that.
And see, it's very problematic when adults look down on these adults reading YA.
Right.
Because it's like, my books have mature themes. I mean, somebody might die in one of my books, you know?
Yeah.
I talk about the subject of good guys and bad guys. Like, how much more mature can you get than that?
Well, and being proud of yourself, no matter what anyone says about like your, you know, jacket or hairstyle. Really mature.
It is very
like that.
These books are very popular amongst adults, especially you know, East Coast, you know, academia, people that have Obamacare tattoos. These are like people who are in their late 30s.
People will like criticize them. They'll come to me. They'll criticize my work and just say it's like really kind of the masturbatory work of like older people who are trying to, first of all, in bad faith, capitalize on high schools mandated to get certain books for kids to read, pandering to them in a condescending way, giving all of the protagonists a happy ending because that's what you want them to feel, you know, not having any ever good things happen to problematic people in your books because that's not how the world works. People will criticize YA and say that it is just a complete intellectually dishonest wasteland of just feel good bullshit. And when people tell me that, I just laugh and I just go to my big house and I turn off the internet browser. And, you know, now that I have enough fans, if somebody wants to criticize me, I can just call them out on the internet. You know, I can just say, this is, hey, you're being misogynistic. You're being ageist. And, you know, people will take care of it for me.
I have half a mind. When those critics say that stuff, I have half a mind to write a YA book called The Intellectually Dishonest Wasteland. And it's all about the world of adults who look down on everybody, you know?
Well, the people that are mostly criticizing these books and making these claims, more often than not, there's some 18-year-old, and it's like, well, what do you know? You're just a freshman in college.
Yeah. You
don't have any experience. Oh, so you're starting to read. You just read Kafka last year, and now you're starting on, you know, Faulkner or even James Joyce. Oh, so you read books that you don't understand for sure.
Here's the thing, though. James Joyce is YA. The Portrait of an Artist as a Young Man, that's YA.
The thing that is
my book
so
is
sad to
equally
me,
as complex, if not more complex than that.
The thing
my book
that
is
is
longer than that, too.
The thing is that is just like really sad to me is that, you know, you'll have these people, these teenagers that'll come and criticize your work. And, you know, there was the big thing in the news where they tried to get my book removed from a reading list in a university. And, you know, I don't think these teenagers know just how internalized their, like, ageism and misogyny is. When they say that my book, you know, the one that they had on the list, oh, my God, it was, sorry if I sound like a bitch, but... And the woman said that this is not, you know, valid art. It doesn't really teach anything other than just kind of like really vapid baseline feel good mottos. It's like if a whole, like she said in her article condemning me that my book is basically just a Dove chocolate wrapper feel good thing stretched out into 300 pages, which is not true. And she wanted to replace my book, and this is what really made me mad, with James Baldwin, Go Tell It on the Mountain. One of these Baldwin brothers replaced my book written by a woman about teen girls who need to be legitimized, and replace it with James Baldwin, a white guy Baldwin brother, writing a book that's probably about skiing or something. Go Tell It on the Mountain is probably about a ski lodge, right? And it's just internally misogynist. She just doesn't even realize it. She doesn't know what she's saying because she's so young and just hasn't had the life experiences that I have yet. So, you know, it's really bad to see, and I don't like it. But, you know, you got to exhale the negativity and kind of try to do what you can for the culture. And we know we have legions of fans who will defend us. So it's really important.
I couldn't agree more. Even though I myself am a white, straight male of privilege from a background of immense wealth, you know, I understand that. And I write books about a young wizard who he's not posh. He's actually quite poor. You know, I'm writing about downtrodden people to kind of, you know, get an important message out there. And I think it's, you know, society needs to understand that what we're doing is actually more important than what a lot of these writers are doing.
Who could write a poor person better than somebody who's been on the other side, lived in wealth? When perhaps the most poor thing you could possibly imagine is that he has his own room, but the ceiling's low. So, I kind of skipped this. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit, get your stories. About me, my name is Betsy Lavender. I am a writer. I've been writing YA fiction for over 20 years. Just kind of, you know, a little bit about my background. I've always been a champion of feminism, I feel like. I went to Morehouse University as a young girl. And Morehouse is typically a men's-only college for African-American gentlemen. And I really set my mind to it that, no, this is not okay. This is not okay. A men's-only college? Like nowadays? Like, are you kidding me? So I fought in court. Everyone was against me. Nobody wanted me to do it, but I fought in court and I won. And I was the first white woman to be admitted to Morehouse, a men's-only college for African-American men. And I did it for people of color and women everywhere. So I want to bring.
Has there been any other women that have been admitted, or
no?
They don't even try?
There's a legal precedent that they could if they wanted to, but there hasn't been. People are scared because of how much I went through in breaking down racial and gender barriers.
Yeah, they're scared because of society made them feel that way.
Life at Morehouse, it was rough. People were mad at me all the time. They called me mayo, ass. They said things like that. They said, you know, they got mad when, you know, I took a knee during the Pledge of Allegiance because they just said I'm just doing this for attention. But, you know, everybody goes through trouble. You know, Rosa Parks, when she sat on that bus, she knew what was going to happen. And I kind of feel like a kinship with her in those 4 years I spent at Morehouse. But I broke into writing YA fiction. I've been writing ever since. I've just finished my sixth book. I've written 6 now. Oh, wow. How the time flies.
Too
true. Yeah, that's just a little bit about me. Now, I know we all kind of have a little bit of excerpts and stuff we want to read here. Now, correct me, gentlemen. You've written 37 books, correct?
Correct,
CA?
yeah. I'm doing about one every month now. I'm kind of picking up. Each
right,
one's
and
about 600 pages, too.
You're really rifling through them.
I mean, I just have a font of inspiration that just won't stop, you know, ever since I started.
Well, why don't you go ahead, and would you guys like to read some excerpts of your books, perhaps?
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
All right, CA, why don't you take the lead? What book are you going to be reading from?
Sure. So I'll just read from the original book in the series. This one is just like the self-titled sort of The Properly Preposterous Misadventures of Timothy Thompson, Worthingtonshire. You know, I think a lot of people are familiar with this character now. You know, he lives in the magical town of Terre Haute, Indiana. It's kind of a random place I chose, and now I'm stuck with it forever. You know, I kind of chose it without thinking about it, and now I have to write about it every single time.
Right.
So it's just kind of something, you know, I can't change, I guess, but...
Right. And it's like, you know, you have to keep mentioning it because people will be like...
Yeah, they expect it. They start to expect it, and then it's like, well, now I can't ditch this shit, so
and
here
like
it is,
maybe
you
you
know?
only chose it because there's a federal prison there, and that's funny to you.
Yeah,
but,
and then you're stuck for like... I mean, I might do hundreds of these books, and I'm just kind of stuck with it, but...
And people tell you that you're pronouncing it wrong, like you don't know.
Yeah, like every
yeah.
single week, and it's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
But, you know, so this book is about Timothy Thompson Worthingtonshire. His parents are dead, so he goes to live with his mean uncle, who's named Mean Uncle Malthusius Twitley. He owns the local Wendy's on Fezzelwick Lane. And he doesn't really much like young Timothy, so he makes him sleep in a suitcase out back, you know? And it kind of sucks. But then he finds out he's a magical wizard, and then that's when things start to change for him. So this right here is chapter 1, actually. It's called The Boy Who Lived in a Suitcase. Beyond the misty mountains of Wizardly Way, past the fabled forest of Frothleshire, and beyond the rolling waters of Lake Michigan, there lies the whimsical town of Terre Haute, Indiana, where majestic griffins flap their fearsome white wings and slumbering dragons blow big cartoon snot bubbles in their sleep as they rest contented on their piles of ill-gotten bullion and Grinch coins. In this faraway fabled place, there is a boy. He lives on Fezzelwick Lane, behind the Wendy's Burger restaurant. His mean uncle, who is named Mean Uncle Malthusius Twitley, made him live inside a suitcase behind the Wendy's because his parents had died and nobody else wanted him. But then one day it turned out the boy was not just a piece of shit who lived in a suitcase. He was actually a magical prince. Oh, and by the way, the boy's name was Timothy Thompson Worthingtonshire. I forgot to write that earlier. Anyway, he turned out to be a prince. And that meant he got free room and board at the greatest magic school in Terre Haute, the bedazzling boarding house of Minotaur Manor. There, he meets his best friend, a red-headed loser boy named Geezer Hamswallow, and his other friend, who's a girl, Serena Smoke Show Thimbleworth. As members of Posh House, they get into all kinds of misadventures, competing in wizardly sports, eating frogs, playing with wands, and all types of shit. Just wait until chapter 2 when they will get into some adventures. And that's actually the whole first chapter right there. So.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It's a classic now.
It was a very brave writing decision to just talk about your book in your book of like, hey, stay tuned and you'll read this in the book.
You know, it's funny. I did that for about the first 8 or 9 books I wrote. And then I started hearing feedback from people like that most books don't do that. And I didn't know because I've only read Harry Potter and it's not that good. I didn't really know.
Let me ask you this. Learning. What are you trying to say with that character? What is your message to teenagers? That even if you feel like a piece of shit, you're still a prince?
Yeah, some teenagers feel like shit and they get treated like shit by these adults who look down on YA literature, these adults who they don't have any majesty and fun in their lives. And they're making you you might not literally be sleeping in a suitcase, but that is like the metaphor for, you know, being a teen. Like you might not be able to drive the car when you want.
Teenagers are in a metaphorical suitcase, yeah.
Exactly, of your feelings, the prison of those feelings that those parents and the adults put on you.
Your puberty and all the things happening around you, and you're not a boy, but you're not yet a man. I feel like there's a lot of layers of depth that you give that really make this like just a well-rounded piece of art.
Yeah, so I think I've had many controversies, as we all have, because people in this society are predisposed to be unfair toward us in our art. But I've had a number of controversies about appropriation and people saying that I use a lot of like British terminology, even though I'm American. And I'm like, my book takes place in Indiana. That's as American as it gets. I don't know what these people are talking about. I think they just want to read kind of like other wizardly series into mine and think it's like more British than it is or something. So I've kind of had a lot of struggles with that online, a lot of toxic people in my mentions and everything. But I just try to keep positive with it.
Yeah, that you have to exhale the negativity. It's going to be there because people are a lot of times jealous that you're able to like reach so many people to give them such good positive like messages. And the people that don't read these books don't get that positive messaging because they're reading depressing books like Ulysses or the Satanic Verses, and they're getting all depressed and they're just seeing everything as being bad because that's what an adult is. It's just bad. I got to go to work. I got to pay bills. Being a kid is all about I want to kiss this hot guy, and I want to ride a car, and I want some money, and I want to eat hot wings whenever I want. And adults, the adult mentality is inherently jealous of the freedom and the possibilities of youth. And I really think that's all you see whenever it's people being haters. That's what the kids call it.
And that's why I address big issues like good guys and bad guys, because you'll realize adults are bad guys and kids are good guys.
Well,
so why don't you act more like a kid who are the good guys if you want to be good? So, to keep moving forward here, let me read you just one more excerpt. This is from chapter 47. It's called The Bewildering Bog.
Out of the same book?
Oh, the same book. Yeah, this is about like page 640 of the first book.
I've read that book 7 times.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a page turner. I'll tell you.
How many times have you read it?
I just write them once and I keep moving. I mean, I'm writing so many, I don't have time to read them.
I can't be the only one who reads my own books.
I feel like I'm reading them when I'm writing them, you know?
I read my own books. I really, that's kind of all I read. That's really the only things I really ever read.
Here's the thing. I don't plan anything out, so it's all new to me as it's coming out of my fingers on the keyboard there, and like I feel like I'm reading rather than writing.
A lot of times I'll think about when I'm writing a book, like, well, what do I want to read right now? And then I write that. What do I want to feel
people criticize
right
me
now?
saying I've never read a book besides Harry Potter, I'm like, if I wanted to read a book, I would just write it, and so I do. So I think the haters are completely, they're just selfish and they're mad, I guess.
I'm excited for this next excerpt.
Yes, this excerpt is chapter 47. It's called The Bewildering Bog of Curmudgeonly Cromswell Blatherington. Timothy Thompson Worthingtonshire removed his foot from the muck of the bewildering bog. "Oh, pish," he said. "These are the foulest waters in Terre Haute Kingdom. That stench could only mean that curmudgeonly Cromswell Blatherington's mud dragon is afoot." "Not so fast, Timothy Thompson," said a voice from the distance across the misty, mucky pond. He moved his face closer into a place where there wasn't as much mist. It was Minotaur Manor's secondary school chancellor, Flimbwazzle Timp, the head chancellor in charge of Chav House. He had a face like an owl, but if it was a person. "Well, well, Timothy, I hear one of me chavs from Chav House nicked your mobile. I guess you won't be calling your little friends for help anytime soon." "Oh, what a load of codswallop. That's proper fucked, mate," Timothy yelled back across the pond. "Are you taking the piss, mate?" Then, with his wand hand, he grabbed his wand from his utility belt and put it in the air. A bunch of stars and gold shit flew out as he incanted his incantation. "Tesco, Sainsbury's, Marks and Spencer." And with that, ruddy Chancellor Flimbwazzle Timp fell to the ground in a proper lump. But from behind him then came a menacing noise. It was the menacing mud dragon of Cromswell Blatherington, who had come to retrieve the magical medallion that Timothy Thompson Worthingtonshire and Geezer Hamswallow had absconded with after the Wizards' ball at the O2 Arena. And that's kind of the cliffhanger right there where the mud dragon shows up.
I know what happens next.
Well, people are going to have to pay. If they haven't bought the book,
Well, don't
they're gonna have
spoil
to
it
go
for
pay
the
and find
reader.
out.
Yeah, don't spoil it, please. All 37 books is quite a way to hook them in.
Yeah, so that's sort of a little taste of my world, but I'd like to hear what you guys have been up to yourselves.
Quince, I understand you have some readings for us. You want to tell us a little bit about the book? And then go ahead and get into it?
I have a couple of excerpts. I mentioned the premise of it, but Days of Hemlock Part 1 in the Demon Cycle. I told you like the synopsis and everything, what's going on with it, but I'm going to read a first excerpt from Chapter 8, which is titled "The Winds of the Witches," and I guess I'll just go right into it.
Oh, please do. Thank you.
The wind began to pick up as they approached the back gates. Silas could see the gargoyles above, watching with their stone gazes. He didn't feel afraid. He felt comfort. These ancient symbols of monsters he knew within him, a sort of kinship. The large iron gates were chained together and sealed with a padlock that looked as old as the manor itself. Kramer let out a loud sigh. Crap! It's locked. Looks like we're going to have to do some Scooby-Doo maneuvers here, chums. After giving the gate another rattle. Don't worry, I have an idea, Sable said with a cunning grin. The kind of grin a demon would make. A demonic smile. Silas felt like a flame was lit within him. Maybe she has it in her too, he thought. Sable moved a stone and the foundation of the wall attached to the gates, and removed a large rusty key. I used to sneak in this way with my sisters all the time as kids, she said. Wow, and I was about to climb this like a felon, too, Kramer laughed, with a single earring shimmering in the moonlight. Come on, let's have some fun, said Sable as she walked past Silas, leading the way, her school uniform skirt swaying in the moonlight. Silas could feel the flame growing inside him. He knew it was the demon.
Oh, shit.
So, can I tell you something I really appreciate about your work?
Please do.
I like that within this complex and mythical world of the demon cycle, Scooby-Doo exists in that universe. And the characters know what Scooby-Doo is and reference it. Because, like, I feel like there's a lot of adults out there who would say that Scooby-Doo is formulaic horse shit and shouldn't really be mentioned in a serious book.
Well, it's kind of like I thought it was kind of self-aware.
I agree with you completely. It's very self-aware, and it's like I like when these other cartoon characters who have a lot of stories to tell appear in your stories. It's really fantastic.
Well, a lot of my inspiration came from Scooby-Doo. And to be honest, can I tell you, like, one of the most underrated parts of Scooby-Doo was not Scooby himself, but Scrappy-Doo, his cousin. You watch any episode with Scrappy-Doo, and it's completely different. It's completely different from all the other episodes. He is completely untrustworthy. He's short. He is kind of a demon himself. So, like, the demons in this story, the demon in the story was actually directly inspired by Scrappy-Doo.
I know you got in a good amount of trouble online for, when I say trouble, is the critics, of your depictions of the demons, because the demon seems to come at odd moments and
inopportune times, just completely inconvenient.
In chapter 22, where the demon makes him that I think it's like 5 pages worth, where the demon is making him think about how Sable puts her bra on and talking about how his favorite thing about her is that she's 16 years old. I know that there were a lot of those words that were taken out of context. And I think most authors would be afraid to mention just the sexualization of a 16-year-old girl. But if we look at how teenagers operate, that's what they're thinking. That's honest.
They're constantly,
that's what they're doing.
If you're a teenager, that's all you think about. That's all you want to do.
You're taking 4 showers a day so that you can masturbate. You're you're thinking about this stuff. You try to get good at drawing so you can draw boobs how you like them and give up. That's the kind of stuff that teenagers do. And it's important to be honest. And when people said, the P word about you and said that you were creepy and that you wrote a character to exist just because you were in love with her.
Here's also the thing, though, is the demon, it's a demon. And also, that demon is simply...
Take a large ladder up to her 3rd-story bedroom. You want to prop it up so that you can look while she's having a slumber party where she's hitting her friends with pillows in their bras. And then because of your erection, it pushes you away from the wall and you fall 60 feet.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think the panty raid chapter of your book that happens in the demon's castle is very riveting stuff.
Well, the demon's castle, well, that's a little bit, it's kind of
then the panties,
and it gets a little bit weird, so people have to read it to understand that. But I have another excerpt that
go ahead.
kind of addresses the demon a little bit, and it directly involves Silas and Sable and their relationship together. And maybe soon to be,
maybe soon to be woman sitting on the edge of my seat.
Maybe soon to be former relationship. Yeah. So let me just go right into it again. I don't know what's happening to me. I don't know who I am. I don't know who my parents are. Everything that's happened since that night has changed. I thought maybe, just maybe, I could trust someone. I thought maybe I could trust you. Especially when you kissed me. But I guess you didn't mean it. All you wanted from me was my dad's egg. That's not true, said Sable, touching her hand to Silas's face. I admit I wanted your dad's egg, but only because I know what's happening to you. I've known for a long time. That egg has the demon's words on it. If we can figure out its name, we can finally find a way to control it. Why should I believe any of this crap? Why should I believe anything you say? You tricked me like a slut. Silas raged, his eyes turning red. Sable calmly folded her hands into her lap and looked up into his eyes. Because I love you.
I think it's incredible that you're well into your 30s, but you can conjure up these teenage passions so well. I mean, this is
I've
art.
thought about
This
it a
is
lot.
literature.
Yeah? You've thought about it a lot. Well, that's interesting. That's good. I can
here's
tell
the thing.
you're a good writer
I would
because
say
you're able
this.
to channel that. I feel like I'm reading about the feelings of a person who truly loves this 16-year-old girl.
I was going to say, like, so, you know, a teenager is still in their teens. They haven't completed those teens yet. For an adult, I've lived through a whole teenager's cycle, so I actually know more about being a teen than any teen.
Oh, that's true.
I did the maximum amount of time as a teen as possible, so I've got so much more to say about that experience than they do.
Well, those were amazing. I thank you, gentlemen, for bringing those.
They were
excerpts.
amazing, both of them.
I
Absolutely.
have a few kind of excerpts here. I'll see what you
The
guys
best for last. Here we go.
want to go with. Oh, you guys are making me blush. Stop, boys.
Okay, I'll stop.
All right, so I'll just kind of go through a brief chronology. I wrote this one while I was actually at Morehouse. This one's called Ramona and the Fall of Summer. So I got a couple here. Let me see which ones I want to do. All right, this is the plot of it. Everything seemed perfect for Persephone. Junior year ends, she has tons of friends, and her boyfriend, Mac, is a total beefcake stud sweetie pie with the face of an elf and the body of a gay guy. But everything turns upside down when Mac gets bit by a dog and dies. So I'm going to read an excerpt from that one right here. Don't go, Mac. I'm not ready, Ramona said, fighting back the tears. It's over, babe, Mac said, smiling a toothy grin full of blood. That dog got me good. Don't say that, Ramona said. There's still time. The ambulance is coming. Ramona, just listen. It's just you and me right now, okay? I love you. I love you so much. That dog. He can put me 6 feet under like a dog, but he can't bury our love. Ramona cradled Mac's head in her lap next to her boobs as blood mixed with sweat on Mac's abs. She wiped it away with her tongue. But I need you, Mac, Ramona whimpered. No, babe, Mac said. You don't need me. Girls run the world. Years later, I am at his grave. I am placing fresh flowers on his tombstone. I am wearing a businesswoman outfit because I am a businesswoman. I let myself cry a single tear as I think of him. Scruffy haired, beautiful, and so right. He was right. Girls run the world. And I have Mac Goodstone to thank for teaching me that women run the world. Even if I didn't learn till the very end. It took a man to teach me that. And that's the end of the book. Actually, the excerpt was the end, so I probably should have wrote different. I just like that part so much.
That was
But-
powerful. I mean,
Yeah, that one
was-
came
oh,
out,
man.
17 years ago. So if you haven't
I think
read
that
it,
could be the book. You could make that just a one-page book, and it'd be
Right.
fantastic.
let's see what else I have here. Let's see. I deserve to be happy and to have nothing bad ever happen to me. Jennifer has had a tough year. Her father got a new job and she had to move to a small town where she knows nobody. Her boyfriend cheated on her with her twin sister. Can you imagine? And her mother died after getting bit by that dog. She decides that she has had enough and decides to ignore all the bad things in her life. She's surprised to learn that ignoring everything bad ever can have actual consequences. There's a book, The Trembling of Dusty St. Silas. Dusty is the quintessential American girl. She is shy. She likes reading books, and she has 2 parents that are alive and have never been bitten by dogs. But her world turns upside down when she falls in love with a boy from a slightly poorer family. Actually, I don't want to do that one. Pass the salt, hold the drama. What happens when a video of the reigning prom queen getting finger blasted at a frat party goes viral and is posted on America's Funniest Home Videos? I'm 49, so that's what I think going viral means if it gets on America's Funniest Home Videos.
Thanks for the clarification.
Well, surprise answer. Yeah, surprise answer. She fights back. And although she is victorious in the courtroom, it's her personal life that's trouble. When the new boy she likes gets bit by a dog and dies. Hold off on that one. Then I wrote The Queen's Guide to Surviving a School Shooting.
Oh my god.
Flower is a wild child and a free spirit. She doesn't let anyone hold her down because she's a queen bitch. At least that's what she tells herself. And she makes up her mind when her school gets attacked by Anonymous that she's done sitting around. It's time to take action. So that one just came out, I'd probably say about 6 months ago. You can find
That's
that one
timely.
on
Anonymous.
Published by Penguin.
That's very timely.
Oh, I'll read this excerpt here of this book. This one's called "Sorry If I Sound Like a Bitch," but this is the synopsis of it. Beth has had it with boyfriends, with her parents, and with her catty so-called friends. She decides to create an online alter ego named Kitty Cat, an unfiltered psycho who spills all the tea on all the secrets at every woman high school. However, Beth gets carried away, and her receipts begin to have deadly consequences at school when her new boyfriend, Bongo, gets bit by a dog and dies at school.
That sucks for Bongo. I can already imagine.
And this is an excerpt. This is an excerpt from that book. Sorry to sound like a bit if I sound like a bitch, but bedhead, check. Sweatpants, check. Ready for school? Meh. Good enough. My name is Beth, and the main thing you need to know about me is that I am tired. So tired. The other thing that you need to know about me is that my so-called boyfriend, Bubby Brown, has just cheated on me with my archenemy, Cassidy Jones. Whatever. It's hard to have a big heart with a ton of love to give when you are a shy girl who loves to read books. Kind of makes me feel like boys look at me like I have a big target on my back. Love is about letting go, my mom said. Thanks, Mom. Real helpful. I'm sick and tired, and I'm sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. You know what? There comes a time when you feel so low that you just want to crawl in a ball and die. Well, guess what? Now is not that time. I'm going to crawl in a ball, and I'm going to feel stronger. I'm going to love myself twice as hard. But I will admit, sometimes I just want to find a dog, get him to bite me, and die. You know, I feel like I put a lot of myself into my books and what I write. I don't know about you guys. But really, you know, I put a lot of my own experiences into what I write. And I feel like, you know, all you have to do to really be a good YA author is just kind of remember. You just remember some stuff that happened, and then you write it, and then you lie about how you felt
Which
at
of
the
those
time
experiences
to make it
are you
look better.
drawing from your own life? Like, do you have any pets or anything? Or
I had a dog.
but you don't.
I had a dog.
Anymore?
I had a dog. Well, when I was a teenager, he had to be put down.
Well,
The
what
dog
happened?
did.
That sounds that's horrific.
Why was that? Was he old?
I've kind of mentioned this in interviews, but I had a quintessential life-changing experience. Well, a couple of them in my teenage years. So the very first boyfriend I ever got, Hank. Well, he died when I was 15 after my dog bit him. It was some bacterial thing.
Oh wow.
It sucks. Dude.
Doctors were
It's
really
a little bit
confused.
out of left. I'm sorry, it's a little bit out of left field. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry
to
I
hear
wasn't
that.
Well,
prepared.
it was
I would have
really tough
appreciated
at
maybe
the time.
some kind of trigger warning on that.
Oh, well, I do apologize for, telling you that. But, yeah, he was 15. Hank died after my dog bit him. It was a bacterial thing, somehow infected him. Took him like 5 minutes and he died. Just instant, perfectly healthy to just dead as a doornail. And I never really got over it. My second boyfriend, when I was 16, he came to the house. It was really hard for me to, like, get over what happened to Hank and to, like, open up my heart again. I was such a shy girl. I loved reading books. It was hard. I always had these big bangs that covered my whole face. And when I would start dating boys, it would be right after I would they'd say, "You're so pretty, you don't hide behind those bangs." And then I would put my bangs up. And then when they would die, like Ryan,
Wait, how would you put your
bangs?
so your bangs were all the way to the bottom of your face, right? How would you put them up exactly?
To the side.
Oh, I thought you meant up, like you would grab them and just you're slowly revealing your face.
Oh no! But then Ryan died. My bangs went back down, and then he came over to my house. It was a big deal. It was the first time any boys came over to my house since Hank, and my dog bit him and he died. And then the doctor started putting it together, and then there was Jack, who came to see what happened to Ryan, and my dog just kind of bit him.
Did he die or was he okay?
Then he died.
Okay.
He died.
I was hoping he was okay. Because I'm a positive
cousin
person.
came over. It wasn't. I didn't like my cousin, but he wanted to. He was trying to take care of the dog. But the dog outsmarted him, and he bit
okay?
him, and he went down. And then my prom date, it was Brian, and Brian, he put the corsage on me, and we thought we had the dog in the basement, and he got out. I'm sorry.
Can you tell me the time frame on all
sorry.
this? How long of a time window did all this happen in?
All of this happened between 15 and 17, and then we thought we had him in the basement, and he pinned the corsage on me. And I turned to look at him, and I'm smiling, and his face goes white, and I look down, and there's Bluto. He's a little wiener dog. He got him right on the ankle, and he just went down, and I just knew. I don't know how I knew, but I just knew. And the paramedics came, and Bluto got one of them, and then it was it took a long time, and there's graduation, and there was this one guy I really liked. It was Hugo, and Hugo said he was a foreign exchange student. He said he didn't care about what happened. He said he demanded to meet my family because he wanted to do right, and asked my father permission to date me. And we thought we had Bluto. We knew he'd get out of the basement, so we put him in the bathroom. And he gets out, and he got him. He got Hugo. He got my dad. He got all of them.
What?
He got all.
He spared you.
I don't know. I ask myself that every day. Anyway, the Humane Society came.
Did he look at you? Did he try to convey any expression to you?
He just had those big wet eyes, almost like he was saying he was sorry. He just looked at me, and he went back to the bathroom and just sat there like that's where he was supposed to be. Like he was proud of himself, like I got him. You tried to say I wouldn't, and I got him. And the police came, and they had to...
The SWAT team outside?
They just blasted
They got
him.
a tank outside?
48 bullet holes in him. Just blasted him. They knew what was up. They knew what the score was. He just got him.
That's
That's
so
pretty.
tragic.
I'm sorry. Let me get a tissue.
Pretty incredible
So here's
story.
what I think. Like, how can people hear that story and then say that your books are sophomoric garbage? Like, your books are based on real experience, so they're automatically good. And anyone who criticizes your books is criticizing your life experience.
Well, we don't know. Well, Walker, we don't know if. I mean, that story that Betsy just told us. I mean, Betsy is a story weaver. You know,
Well, it's
that story could've
100% true. It's a real story.
It could have been completely pulled from her books, if you think about that.
Well, no, I had enough of the dog, and they shot the dog, and all my parents were gone, and all my family was gone.
I've
and
met her parents. Her parents are alive.
And that's when I decided to go to Morehouse and break down those
I've met
barriers.
her parents. When I was a teenager, I had mono.
Oh, you must have got that from kissing.
I did, actually.
You slide devil.
And-
What was the lucky lady's name?
Tiffany.
I was really hoping. I'm
Yeah,
really glad. I thought
Tiffany
you were going to
joined-
say it was Sable, so I'm really glad that you're just not writing about just
That's
some...
a character. That's a character.
Yeah, his
I don't-
books aren't
I
as
don't-
shallowly
I
based
don't
on his
combine.
life
I
as
don't
yours.
I don't combine my real life in my stories.
I leave
Now,
it up to the
Tiffany-
reader to decide whether I live in a fantastical city on Featherwick Lane or if I made that up. You know, like just let them choose.
Tiffany joined the army eventually. She was shot in the neck in Fort Knox by another veteran. And you know, she got really big after high school, so I didn't really care that much, but it was sad. Now, I thought that maybe since the three of us are here, I had an idea. Like, what if we all like, you know how people collab on songs like this song featuring so and so featuring so and so. So like, what if we had like a Betsy and Lavender featuring C.A. Walker and Quinn Strumheller, but it's a story.
Oh, a YA supergroup.
Yes,
It'd be
exactly.
like the Highwaymen.
Yes, I don't know what that is, but
Two
yes.
highwaymen and a highway woman.
Right. It's not quite as catchy, but I get what you're saying. No, we should write a book together. So let's see, and let's think. What's going right now? What is something that will capture the interest of teens? What do teens like?
Fortnite.
Fortnite, you say?
The video game. Yes, that's what these kids are going crazy for.
Okay,
This
I'm not
game
quite
that's
sure
a
what
cartoon.
Fortnite is.
Well, but it's basically a cartoon battle royale. Okay, so what if we made a story about a teenager who is caught up in this world where they have to fight to the death in a battle royale?
Oh my
to be the last
God.
one alive.
Now, would they be fighting people, or maybe
Her
some
name
kind
could
of...
be like Swallow.
What if they were fighting? Are they fighting people, or like some kind of like?
Yes, they're
maybe
fighting other people,
dogs.
other
Maybe they're
humans.
fighting like dogs.
What about this?
Well, why would they be dogs?
That makes sense to me because what if one team was humans and one team was dogs? It's like that
Well, that's
eternal
not-
battle
that's not a battle
between man
royale.
and canine that's been going on for millennia.
I kind of almost feel like the dogs are my thing, so maybe I don't want to do that and collaborate. Like that was my experience, so maybe.
It's not very
Well, what if
good.
it's like
the
Counter-Strike
dogs are not
instead of
very-
Fortnite, where it's like dogs win, you know?
A dog couldn't set up a bomb.
That's true.
They could.
yes,
I
you
mean,
can.
there's
I
dogs
read
that
one
are
of
trained to
Betsy's
sniff.
book where a
No,
dog
there's
set up a
dogs. So there's
bomb.
dogs. That's not real. That's
Yeah,
fiction.
but this is
It's
this is
fiction.
also fiction.
That's
We're trying
YA
to write
fiction.
YA
That's-
fiction.
Nothing is even realistic in YA fiction. You know
That's
this.
why I'm saying.
Well, the only thing that's unrealistic in YA fiction is just the feelings that everyone experiences and all of the time.
Now, a dog can sniff out a bomb. They couldn't set up a bomb. So
Okay,
the
well,
dogs should always have
Well,
to be
what
the
you're
counter
describing is too violent anyway. So how about one side sets up the bomb and one side diffuses the bomb, and that's it.
That's what I'm saying. I said the dogs should always have to be the counter terrorists. So that means the dogs are the good guys and that humans are the
Okay,
terrorists.
I got you now.
Oh,
yeah.
Is that? I mean,
Dogs are
maybe
never
that's a
the good
moral
guys.
The
thing.
humans are all
Maybe
adults,
that's a
and the
moral
dogs are all puppies.
All right, well,
What if the terrorists are adults and the teens are the counter terrorists who take down the adults?
Not bad.
all right. So we're going to have a big battle royale where maybe the adults are making the teens fight each other because the adults are the
Naked.
bad guy. Naked. Well, I don't know. That's a little. I don't think that's okay to
They're
describe.
naked and it's terrifying.
But I don't think. I think it'd be really weird if we have a bunch of naked.
No, but it's
teenagers.
like
Like
doing
Lord
a
of the
book, right?
Flies,
It's
but with
okay.
girls too. It's like Lord of the
Yeah.
Flies. They're
Well,
all naked
Lord of
in
the
that
Flies
book.
is not a YA book. It is just a book.
But there's teens in it. It's all about teens. So
Oh,
it's
that's
YA.
a good tagline we can do. Is if it's not YA, it's just a book.
God damn.
All right, so
Kinda
tell
love
us a
it.
little bit more. Let's think about who the main character would be.
So her name
kind
would
of
be
like
Swallow.
an every
Swallow
woman, an every girl.
Featherspark. How about that?
She has to be like
That's good.
stubborn, but in like a good. All of the characters, the main characters,
Rebellious.
yeah, they have to have
But a
flaws,
heart
but
of
like
gold.
cool flaws. Like a cool flaw would be that they don't listen to anybody, but that's because they're always doing the right thing, or that they're always getting punished for helping people. Too
I don't care about authority. I'm standing my ground. That's what
Yeah.
it's all about. Being
I
a
don't.
teen.
I will do the right thing no matter what costs, and that's like portrayed as a flaw.
Now, what stats are we talking for her?
I'm sorry, stats.
Like, okay, so you guys are I'm not the only one who am I the only one who writes stats for his characters?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure what you're mean. I did feel like that it was weird in your Hemlock series where you described Sable as 36, 24, 36.
Yeah, were those her stats?
I'm just trying to give an image, a nice image of a 16-year-old schoolgirl who's the daughter of the owner of the town.
Okay, so is that what you mean by stats, or are we talking like HP?
It could be any, yeah, HP, their stamina.
Well, why don't you just describe to us what you think this woman, Swallow?
So Swallow, I'm thinking she's probably at like a 28 HP kind of middle ground. Not too much, but not too little. She's kind of, her AC I'm thinking is maybe like a 15. Which is not bad.
Not bad.
She's kind of just like in the middle, but like her cohorts are like extremes on the other sides. You know what I'm saying?
So she's a she's a 28, 15, 28 is what you're saying?
Well, you're just messing with me now. So
Well, you're breathing pretty hard. So
I just keep imagining like what she looks like. Like maybe she's.
colors her hair.
I'm thinking redhead, or she's like a golden blonde.
Okay.
Straight bangs.
Okay, straight.
Do the bangs cover her entire
And
face?
maybe every now and then she does the space buns. Like
What are the
double
space buns?
It's
Like
like the
the-
double buns, the space.
The
buns.
Princess Leia thing?
Kind of. It's not braided though. Yeah.
Okay, I can see that. All right, and
But it's hot.
Does she fight?
Yes, she dual wields bows.
Ooh, like
She
does
can
she pull
shoot a
this?
bow one-handed with the arrow and everything. She dual wields those.
That's impressive. So she would be like a female empowerment, like a badass. Yeah,
Yes.
even though she's like built like a Barbie doll in like unrealistic ways, she's still a female role model because she's killing men.
Well, here's the thing: is back at school before they had to go through all this, she was the head cheerleader, but she also ran her D&D club at school and was also had the highest grades in the sciences. So she's also a nerd. You know what I'm saying?
she's in STEM. Well, that
She's
could be
in
a good
STEM,
role.
but she's also in athletics.
Like some people
Right.
try to say,
So-
like with a character like this, it would be sexist for her to have a 10-inch waist. But actually, when she's getting all these arrows fired at her by the enemy, it's actually easier to dodge the arrows, and that's the reason why. It's a
She
strategic
dodges
reason.
them like
Yeah,
the
if someone
mask.
goes to stab her waist and she dodges it because of her tiny little waist and her thick thighs, she can, avoid death.
What is she wearing to you, Quince?
Like I said, they're naked.
All right, so where does she keep the arrows for her bow?
Well, she has a quiver on her back, but
But she can't. She
She's still
chooses to be naked, or
she's naked with the harness. Like the quiver is on her back still.
But like, is everybody naked, even the men, or is it just her?
Yes, the men are naked.
Is there a reason why they don't wear armor in this world, or?
They're not allowed to.
Are they allowed to wear like a T-shirt?
The men can wear T-shirts, but nothing else.
How long are the?
All right,
Can they wear like a
who
triple
makes
XL
these
tall
rules? Who makes these rules?
The adults.
The adult. Okay, so there's a conglomerate of adults that want a bunch of children to fight naked. Why do they do
Yes,
this?
it's a dystopia, dude.
What?
Ma'am.
Okay, so is it a sex
I feel
thing
like
that
you
they're
guys are
naked,
coming at me
or-
like really hard right now. I feel like I'm just.
I feel like if anyone's hard right now, it's you.
We're trying to make the work better, dude. We're asking questions just to improve it.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything that your critics aren't going to say. When you write, when we all, I guess,
Everyone is afraid to write the human condition. It's
human
fine.
condition
I mean,
is being a naked teenager and forced to fight.
I see where
Yes!
Quince is coming from, because that's what it feels like to be a teenager. You have those dreams where you come to class and you're only wearing your underwear. Then you wake up from the dream and you're naked in class.
And your
You're
teacher's
naked.
looking
You don't
at you
even
and
have
saying,
your
well,
underwear on.
your teacher's looking at you and thinking, well, you're quite the woman now, aren't you? Or, you are quite... You have quite the sizable hanger there, son. They're thinking those things, And all of you out there who are teachers, don't deny it.
All right.
Those
I want
dreams.
to hear from our teacher listeners, actually. What is the most
all of our teacher
lurid
listeners.
All of you
fantasy
teachers who
you've
have
had in your
appeared,
classroom?
all of you teachers who have appeared in your pupils' dreams when they're naked, call in.
Yeah, call in and let us know. You're filling out quite nicely, or nice hanger, son. Look at the fish hook on that guy, or if you've ever had those dreams about your students, call in, or just call the police and just let them know what's up.
They can get in touch
But
with
look,
us.
I feel like we have a lot of something here, and we should keep working on it. So all of you should stay tuned.
Yeah, we got plenty in the pipeline. What would we call this? What title would you be thinking?
Well, I feel like that they're just fighting for survival, right?
The thirst games.
Well, it's like the survival matches.
Yeah, but the staying alive tournament.
PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
What about just naked
Ready
teens?
Player One. Yeah, let's call it Naked Teens.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that.
Naked
All right,
Teens
well,
Battle Dome, the final destination. Not to be confused with the movie Final Destination. That's an asterisk.
Is that all part of the title?
Yeah. That's an
Okay.
asterisk as part of the title written out.
Well, our young adult podcast is getting a little long in the tooth, and as we age, we will strive to do another one next week. I'm going to wrap this up on behalf of my guests here, C.A. Walker. Thank you so much for coming.
I must admit, I feel a little younger than I did an hour ago. Thank you for having us.
And my other guest, Quinn Strumheller. Thank you so much for coming.
Oh yes, as you said, the pleasure is all yours.
The pleasure is all mine.
The pleasure
And
is
I am
the
renowned.
readers and the listeners.
The listeners in this case.
Too
My
true,
name is
too true.
Betsy Lavender, and this has been whatever I called my podcast at the beginning. I forgot to write it down. Forever Young Adults. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next week.
Saturday, December 21st, E1 Live at the Hideout in Chicago. Featuring Chapo Trap House Funny Man, Felix Peterman.
Gather round that gay old pole, dance your feet to and fro. When the flag goes up, so do bottoms. The beer is cold as a Harvard autumn.
Tickets available on the internet if you Google it. Saturday, December 21st at the Hideout.
The following is an archived podcast presented by the Branson and Hudson Foundation for Podcast Recovery. This podcast is entitled The Senate Subcommittee Hearing on Boyfriend Misconduct. It is the first and only episode of the podcast. Welcome to episode 1.
This is Andrea Corkboard for C-SPAN on Vice. We are standing outside the United States Capitol, where today the Senate is holding hearings regarding the misuse of the Stay-at-Home Boyfriends Fund. Coming to the stage next is Mr. Branson, who is being accused of being a low-quality boyfriend and an overall gross man. This case will have notable repercussions nationwide for the podcasting community if Mr. Branson is stripped of his stipend, which will cause people who make hobby podcasts but leftist to have to scramble to real jobs. Let's tune in as everyone begins to take their seats.
Ladies and gentlemen who are at this Senate subcommittee hearing thing, my name is Senator Reggie Loud, the esteemed junior senator from Hollywood, and I am the chairman of the Senate Subcommittee on Boyfriend Misconduct. Now, we all know why we are here, but for the cameras and all the millions watching at home, let me summarize. The subject of this investigation, Alex Branson, Twitter funny man and podcaster extraordinaire known for the cult comedy smash hit podcast Episode 1, available wherever podcasts are downloaded, has come under federal scrutiny for an application he filed with the federal stay-at-home boyfriend subsidy program. As we all know, the federal government provides subsidies for exceptional stay-at-home boyfriends that include but are not limited to $125,000 a year, 3 pairs annually of vintage government-issue Adidas Tiro 17s, and a new gaming PC. However, these benefits are means-tested, as all good welfare programs are, and boyfriends must meet and stay in compliance with certain criteria in order to qualify. The boyfriend must have an IQ of 75 or less. He must spend at least 7 hours a day or 37.5 hours a week gaming. And lastly, he must be in good standing with his girlfriend, having committed no acts which may be deemed under federal law as unboyfriend-like conduct. It is for this last stipulation that Mr. Branson's application has been flagged by the subcommittee. Our investigation has compiled a dossier filled with distressing reports that, if true, would disqualify Mr. Branson from receiving his federal subsidy under the Stay-at-Home Boyfriend Relief Act of 2019. Now, this hearing will be conducted primarily by myself and my esteemed colleague, the senior senator from Hollywood, Senator Shelley Chimp. Mr. Branson, do you have any opening remarks you would like to make to this subcommittee?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Well, I'm not a judge, so you don't have to call me Your Honor, but...
Yes, sir, Mr. Sir, yes.
I mean, you could call me Senator, because I was elected.
It's not necessary to bow, son.
I bow respectfully to Your Honor, the senator from Hollywood.
You don't have to call us Your Honor. You don't have to call us Your Majesty. Mr. Senator will do just fine.
Yes, Chancellor, my liege.
Is there anything you'd like to say in defense of your conduct as a boyfriend over these past years?
Yes, I have it right here. It's written, I have a couple napkins. Let me just put them right here. Mr. Chairman, Ranking Member Loud, members of the committee, I have had my name dragged through the dirt. I've been accused of things that are vile, untrue, and libelous. If you believe my accusers, the coverage in the media, you might think of me as low as a street dog. You might want to do things to me like kick me as the normal everyday person would kick a street dog. Hell, you might want to take me and crucify me in the street like one would crucify a simple country dog that has perhaps gotten too big and too rude for its britches, like most people do when they have to deal with an arrogant, lowly street dog. This is how the media has treated me. This is how Congress has treated me. Like a stupid, wet, ugly street dog that evokes such a natural and easy hatred within people that they become determined to crucify it on a cross in the middle of the street and light the crucified street dog on fire as if it was a dog in the street. I am a great, compassionate boyfriend. I have a natural empathy for people, and I am kind, and I am non-judgmental. I have fired my lawyer because he is a stupid pussy, and I will be representing myself here today, just like Al Bundy.
I think you're confusing him with Ted Bundy, which doesn't help your case because he murdered at least 30 women.
No, I have not murdered. Webster's dictionary defines truth as shit that had happened. We are all here today with one goal: to find the truth. The truth is that I have been a decidedly above average boyfriend, aka fiance. Let's go over some facts. My socks rarely have more than one hole in them. Just because you didn't see me brush my teeth doesn't mean I didn't brush my teeth. When I watched The Raid Redemption and I started practicing my own moves that I thought maybe could help me pitch a sequel, there was never an official estimate of the property damage done, meaning that it was legally $0. I have never hid beers inside of the couch in between the cushions and chugged them really quickly while someone was in the bathroom. When comparing the prices of birthday gifts, I spent exactly $3 more on her gift than my own, if you also count the beer that I bought for myself the night before. I get gifts for her even if there are no special occasions going on. Like when I brought home that bra I found in the road. I always offer her the last sip of my beer, often regarded as the best sip. Also the sip of gold, it has been called in some cultures. I have paid the bills in the household on multiple occasions, usually when there's something that comes out called like the Jeffree Star times Shane Dawson Double Down Mr. Bear Pleasure Pack Eyeshadow Guy Shadow Moi Moi Uncancelable Collection. I am not a perfect person, Incubus. I have tons of regrets just like everyone else. But that does not mean I'm a bad person. This year has been the hardest year in my entire life. When I nearly got kicked off of the podcast that I started over a simple misunderstanding, where all I said was, it's messed up how they call them the Wayans brothers just because they're black, I nearly lost everything. But I manned up. My bad, I said. I went on The View, I said, my bad. I grew and I learned. But all this, I'm a good guy, I'm a good boyfriend, and I hope that by the end of this, we can all sit here in this room and agree that I am the man, because I am the man. Thank you, Your Majesty.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Branson. Now we're going to move on. There will be 2 parts to this hearing. The first part of our dossier is the snitch report, just a number of things we've learned from snitches. And the second part is a more focused report from an anonymous witness who made a statement. So without further ado, Senator Shelley Chimp, could you get started on the snitch report here?
All right, we'll get started here on this. I want to clarify that with the initial hearing with Congress, Mr. Branson apparently fell asleep. He had to take 14 bathroom breaks due to secret beers he was hiding within his suit sleeves.
Objection, Your Honor. It wasn't
There's no
just the
objections.
beers.
You may speak.
It wasn't just the beer. I also had some Scotch eggs in my pocket. Well, with some hollandaise sauce, but the left pocket was hollandaise sauce, right pocket Scotch eggs.
Well, you knew you were going to be
just the
sitting
beer.
down for a long time, so why did you bring so many beers, you know? It was going to be a live recording, and you were going to have to be there for, maybe an hour or so for this hearing. Why would you drink so many beers that you have to pee in the middle of the hearing?
Oh, it's boring. It's a boring hearing.
Regardless of your views on these hearings, they are necessary, and I would also like to correct you. The golden sip is the first sip of a beer, and it is understood by many cultures.
Absolutely untrue. That's absolutely Are you looking at the Eastern cultures who say that the last sip is the golden sip?
Yeah, maybe these are just different cultures that have the same name
you're
for
talking about
different sips.
Are you talking about the because I was referring to the sip of gold, which is the last one.
Either way, I assure you, I come from a culture that appreciates and knows their beer. Chimp is a very Irish name. And let's move along. Now,
Well,
I think that the
beggars
silver
can,
sip is your 25th sip. The gold sip is the 50th sip. And the
the
platinum
gold, the
sip.
sip. Okay, I don't know what the silver sip or the gold sip is, but the sip of gold is the last sip of beer at the end. The one that got away.
But here's the question for you as it regards unboyfriend-like behavior. Are girlfriends known to want the sip of gold from that beer? Or is this
so
a
far-
presumptuous thing on your part that actually is distasteful?
So far, it has not been accepted when I've offered the sip of gold.
So
even
see,
when
this
I
is
told
distressing
them about,
because the first time I can understand, but then you keep offering it even though you know it's not what she wants. That seems like unboyfriend-like conduct to me.
Disagree. I feel like that's a very boyfriend-like move where you do something knowing they won't accept in order to make yourself look good.
So you're trying to say this is like chivalrous or something.
Yes.
It's easy points because you know she won't do it.
Right. It's like when I offer to make the bed and she knows that if I make the bed, I'll just make it look bad on purpose. So I can offer to do it. She'll say, no, I'll do it. Because she knows that if I do it, I'll do it bad on purpose so she won't ask me again.
all right, well, we're off to a rocky start. Why don't we just get into this first part of the dossier? According to a report from A&B Snitch Enterprises, you have been under surveillance for 2 years by the agency acting in undercover roles. in order to befriend you and report on any abnormal activity to your girlfriend. These agents... I'm sorry, I can't get my glasses. These are my wife's. I could not find mine, so do not laugh at me.
Oh, they're very... I like the leopard spots.
Thank you.
I actually do like them. I don't think any of the journalists here should take pictures of them.
I thank you. Now, may I continue?
Yes, Your Majesty.
Just a senator. These agents have kept close contact with your girlfriend through calling, text messaging, email, Skype, AIM, and tugging on her skirt to get her attention while calling out, "Oh, Miss Lady, Miss Lady." These report details several violations in the time span of this surveillance. Now to list off the beginning, 1, refusing to talk about your upcoming wedding with your male friends.
Is this my turn? Are you going to laundry list me and really shellac me and expect me to remember to reply to them, or do I get to go?
I think you
can
gotta go one
reply
by
if
one.
you like.
One by one.
Well, first of all, you keep saying that this organization has some agents that. Did you say that it's an organization that has agents, or there's some Asians?
Agents.
Okay.
Agent. AGENT.
Okay. So, because I was gonna say I don't know, like I don't
This
get
is
spied on by any Asian guys.
This is A&B Snitch Enterprises,
So
and it's out of the Midwest. So
all
I'm
right,
told.
so you got I don't talk about the wedding with my friends or whatever, and I feel like that's normal, because I don't have a lot of opinions on the matter. Pick the spot, have some beers, invite some guys, hang out, have a wedding and whatever. But do you have any? Can I get a glass of water or something? Can I get like a pitcher of it or something? You guys patted me down. I couldn't bring any beers in.
We get a
this time.
water pitcher.
Water or something.
We actually have a few beers on the desk if you want.
Give him 2 glasses.
If it's gonna help you
One for
loosen
water,
up,
one
you
for a
can,
beer.
you can take a beer.
Yeah, it might relax me a little bit in this stuffy office meeting or whatever, and I got to be yelled at by 2 kings.
Well, I mean, this is quite a large office, if you're gonna call it that.
So yeah, I don't talk to them about it, mostly because my friends are bird brain knuckleheads, and usually when they do talk about stuff, it's usually about like Looney Tunes or burger toppings, or like what's the best sandwich. So if I would start talking about the wedding, I'd be at risk to get a lot of wet willies, or getting my arm twisted, getting made fun of.
Well, let me pose
Probably
a
they'd
hypothetical
say,
for you
okay.
here, Mr. Branson. Let's say your friends who are part of the wedding party, they start saying things to you like, "Can we wear Tiro 17s to the wedding? Can we just drink like 15 beers before it starts? Can we do all this stuff?" What are you going to say to them?
I'd say probably not to the Tiro 15s, and then it would
17s. It says right here 17s.
It would probably be no on the 17s, because I'm not allowed to wear them, so I'd be
What
mad
about
if somebody
19s?
else was. I haven't asked, but I assume no, using context clues.
Thank you.
As for the beers, it would depend on an individual basis of if I think they could handle it or not. I would suggest no, because I'm not allowed to be that drunk because I got like stuff to do, and I guess you have to take pictures. And you have to like go from different locations. And
Well,
sign
Mr.
a
Branson,
document.
it's my understanding that at a wedding, you're allowed to allow your groomsmen to drink and get as drunk as they want.
I'm gonna plead the 5th. I think. Is that how that works?
Well,
Let's move along
It's
here.
up to I can't control them.
Let's
They're
go
their
along
own
here,
show on your
guys.
part that you're trying to look out for your girlfriend's best interests. So perhaps that is a positive in our inquiry here.
Let's move along. The next listing is about rubbing dirt on it when you're bleeding. It just says in quote, rubbing dirt on it.
Yeah, just rub some dirt on it. You don't need to make a fuss. Just rub some dirt on it. I'm sick of people bleeding and whining and carrying on and go to the emergency room and stuff. Just rub some dirt on it. Next question.
Okay. If that's what you
If your brain hurts, if you're sad, if you're hungover, rub some dirt on it. If it's a metaphorical hurt, rub some metaphorical dirt on it. Get over it. Nobody
would
wants
that
to hear
be?
about your problems. I don't know, if you're sad, if you're angry, if you're mean, rub some dirt on it. Get over it. Life's short. Gotta just get over it. Just rub some dirt on it. Shut up. Nobody wants to hear your problems.
Did you just tell a senator of the United States to shut up?
It was metaphorical shut up. I was addressing the royal
okay.
we.
I think I understand. Thank you.
No disrespect to you, sir.
Moving along, this says you are frequently cutting up your socks with your toenails.
Yes, sir. I'm not perfect, and sometimes I let things slide. And I have an accelerated metabolism that causes my fingers and toenails to grow very rapidly.
You must get a lot of calcium. I appreciate your honesty, Mr. Branson.
They kind of grow in a shape. I had a lot of foot infections when I was younger, a lot of toe infections.
I'm sorry to hear that.
They really chopped those suckers up so that the nail would like grow in a very, and it grows in a very sharp, kind of slicing dagger-like way. It's almost like a triangle at the end of it that just kind of comes off. And yeah, I'm a big man. I'm a large man, and most socks only are recommended for like the size like 8 through 12. So I have to buy the big and tall socks, but for a while I wasn't doing it. So the small socks in conjunction with my sharp big toe caused a multitude of my socks to kind of get sliced up.
Mr. Branson, if I'm hearing this correctly, you're saying that this is a genetic problem rather than a hygienic problem.
I would say that there are many contributions to why this is a problem. And for every contribution to this problem, there's about 10 times more solutions. I just clip them. And so I've been working on that, and I'm trying to get better.
As I said, thank you for your honesty. We're going to move along here. This one's a little bit more troubling. This says, telling your girlfriend you ate a salad for your lunch, yet when the stool samples were tested, they showed zero trace of any vegetation and were entirely comprised of meat and starches.
Particularly chips. These chips seem like they may have been eaten out of a bowl, actually.
Now, is that... I feel like...
All right, we're going to get to that, Senator Loud. We're going to get to that. There's different parts of the report here, so why don't we just take this one step at a time.
I feel like it's illegal to test my stool, right?
If
like,
you
that's
want,
gotta be a violation.
If you want the subsidy, you have to get drug tested, you have to get stool tested. This is just part of the regimen if you want the benefits.
As you know that once you throw away something and once it becomes garbage, it is legally, well, more or less fair game.
I can say with 100% certainty that those results are inaccurate because vegetation, right? A lot of like ketchup has tomatoes in it, so I know I got some vegetation because those are tomatoes, bud.
I think that's arguable.
Well, that's better than I hoped.
Okay, the next one lists getting a prostitute in Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah.
And can you elaborate?
I got a prostitute in Grand Theft Auto 5. And I stole a van, and I was playing online with my friends, and I saw a prostitute, and I was like, oh, I remember playing Grand Theft Auto 3 where you could pick up prostitutes. And let me tell you something. There was a big controversy back then, but it's even more graphic now. So I'm playing online with my friends, and I'm in this van, and I get a prostitute, and I drive over. I forgot who it was. Maybe Josh in Grand Theft Auto, and I made him watch me through the car have sex with a prostitute in Grand Theft Auto 5.
You made him? Did you threaten him?
No, it was more like a, hey, check this out. Hey, look at this. And then my character, who is not me and doesn't look like me.
So he was willing to watch you do this act.
Now, I will tell you this. If the character looked like me, I could see where there might be a problem with this, where somebody might think this is being unfaithful. But I'm not, because the guy didn't look anything like me. He was real ugly, had white hair, big chubby cheeks, no beard, was short. So he had sex with the prostitute, the character that I was controlling. It wasn't actually real sex.
Now, are you aware that prostitution and solicitation of sexual acts is legal?
Not in Grand Theft Auto.
But is it a game? It is a video game within the United States.
I do not know where the servers are online.
Well, the legality of that issue is for another case, another matter. However, we do have to inquire about your state of mind at that time. Were you thinking about your girlfriend's best interests when you made that decision in the game? Were you thinking about her, or were you just completely just doing whatever I want to do? Like, I want to get my jollies.
I would say that is a false dichotomy because, at one point I'm always thinking about her, but mostly it was about making my friends laugh. Now, I don't think she would have a problem with it either, as the one time she did play Grand Theft Auto, the only thing she did was go to the strip club.
Now,
I think we have one more question here. I know you described your own character, but could you describe this prostitute for us in Grand Theft Auto 5?
Yeah, about 15 seconds after everything that I described, she was dead on the street.
So now you're telling us that she was murdered, or was it an accident?
I don't know. I didn't do it. I think Josh did it. He thought it was funny.
Now, I also have a note here about you turning yourself into a pig within the game.
Yeah.
Now, was that a metaphor for you getting a prostitute within the game?
No.
No. Are we talking about an oink oink pig, or
like
more
a
of
suey little Porky Piggy? I was turned into it in the video game.
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
I don't get what you don't get. I was a pig in the video game. I was a pig. I had a curly tail. I had tusks. I was pink, and I ran around oinking.
Now, as I understand it, this is a game where you are a criminal.
Yes.
So instead, you decide to play as a cop.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, we're going to move along here.
Okay.
This says that you enjoy showing everyone your belly button hair lint.
That's right.
When was the last time you can remember having done this?
5 minutes. No, I'd say 5 minutes before the procession started.
Would you be willing to do it here at this hearing?
Well, I just took it out, so I don't think there will be much in there.
Okay, maybe after the recess, we will look back into that.
Yeah.
It says here that you claimed that you'd pay money to kill a horse.
That's right.
Now, I know that doesn't have much to do to you probably with your relationship or being a boyfriend, but there's a lot of different questions people have about that.
Okay. Shoot.
Why would you want to kill a horse?
Because they're nasty.
A lot of people would disagree. They would say they're rather majestic.
Well, I'd say that they're nasty, that they're mean. They have teeth like a man, and it's gross. And they're big, and they stink, and they're covered in flies, and they have big old weird dicks. And I personally think it'd be funny to, like, swoop down on a whole herd of them, stampeding through the Rocky Mountains, in a helicopter that perhaps has a mounted minigun, and just let nature run its course.
Did you make the claim that you think it'd be funny if Charlie Wilson sold to the Taliban catapults so they could shoot horses at Russian helicopters?
That's correct.
What's your reasoning behind that?
It's funny. I think just imagine it. I mean, I'm smiling. Pardon me, Your Majesty, but I'm smiling right now, imagining a Taliban guy loading up a horse onto a catapult and flinging it into a Russian helicopter, and it just immediately explodes, and little bits of horse come raining down on everyone as they cheer.
Mr. Branson, I'm also on the Senate subcommittee for making war. And we may actually need some of your ideas. We may ask you to come by and testify for some other.
Well, I have some drawings, some sketches. That
okay,
I've
make
done
sure you keep all
this.
those, and we'll get in touch about that.
All right.
Now, for the next question, you said you wouldn't mind being adopted by a one Mrs. Jessica Blevins.
That's right.
Also, don't understand what that means.
Do
you not have a loving mother and father?
No, I do.
So what did you mean by this?
Well, Ninja's a great guy, and Tim the Tap Man, he would come over on weekends, and they seem like just a real loving couple.
So you'd like to be their son?
Yeah, I mean.
And can you remind people of this hearing, how old are you, Mr. Branson?
I'm 31. Years
so you're
old.
older than you're older than the people you wish to be adopted by.
I mean, it's just.
If I understand that right.
It's just people say stuff, It's not like
people say what stuff. You're 31 years old. You want to be adopted by people younger than yourself.
Were you considering whether your girlfriend would want to be Ninja's daughter-in-law?
I don't think I'd actually follow through on it if it happened. Just kind of stuff guys talk about. It's just kind of guy stuff. I don't even know how you guys found out about that.
Okay, well, we have our ways. Moving along here.
I heard you have some Asian guys. You're Asians.
No, they're not. I assure you, they're white men. You said you went on The View. This in the report said you were raising the roof after comments you made towards Meghan McCain.
I really got her good. I don't feel like if it's appropriate to say it right now. Everyone got pretty mad at me for my comments on Meghan McCain. But I don't, I already said them once. I guess I can't get in trouble again because of double jeopardy. Should I say it here?
If you could state what you said. I have the quote here, but if you could say it in your own words, please.
All right. So basically the show's called The View, and I said that ever since Meghan McCain came on The View, they should change the name from The View to The Obstruction. Because she's blocking the view.
I see. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next one says...
That's the quote you had, right? It wasn't the other stuff I said, right?
All right, so the next one says you enjoy spending $60 on a video game and saying it was free.
I deny this allegation. I've never said that.
It says it right here.
Yeah, where'd you get that?
What video
Stitch
game
Enterprises.
Are they talking about? They do great work.
Video game. What video game are they saying?
I'm not it says redacted. It's blacked out.
All right. Well, that's because it's a lie. I always brag about how much I spend on video games because it's helping the economy.
Moving along. You often enjoy eating a, quote, food bowl?
Yes,
Can
sir.
you elaborate on what that is?
It's self-explanatory. Even Senator Loud and I shared a food bowl the other day. As I understand, he's quite fond of them.
I dabble from time to time.
Essentially, it's you take a bunch of food, you put it in a bowl, and you mix it around. You got a food bowl.
They're all going to get mixed up anyway if they're on the plate.
In
so you
your
might as well just
stomach,
put them in
right.
the bowl
All right.
Right.
and mix it
All
all
right.
up.
Senator
You want all
Loud.
the
Okay.
flavors together,
All right.
right?
It's easier to carry on a bowl, too.
I can see his heart rate is just going up even talking
If
about
you
this.
didn't want all those flavors together, then why are you eating the meal? You know
Why
what
are
I
you
mean?
eating them together? It's
Yeah,
not
you
like
should
you're
be
going to
eating
put them
meals
on your plate
with all the
and,
flavors that go together complementary.
having a buffer zone on your plate between all the different things like a psychopath. So you might as well,
Yeah, what is this, the
get over it.
1950s? You're sitting down with your
Yeah.
fucking family and your picket
Yeah.
fence outside.
My
and you're-
three
Senator Loud, please
my
watch
three
your language.
green
This
beans.
is live
Make
on
sure my three
C-SPAN.
green
This is an
beans
official
don't touch
hearing
my dollop of mashed
of
potatoes.
the Senate.
Okay, well, there's a number of food-related things that actually come up in this report.
Well, he also claimed that he eats a bag of chips and claims it's his dinner.
We've heard allegations about this. We've heard another allegation relating to the salad one earlier, that you told your girlfriend you had a salad for dinner, but you actually ate 40 pizza rolls. And then when she found out via a snitch that you had pizza rolls, you claimed it was only 20 pizza rolls. Do you care to elaborate on this?
My lawyer, who I fired, has suggested that I don't answer any more questions about the number of pizza rolls. Just say that the whole night was a blur.
Can you tell us, if you won't talk about the number of pizza rolls, can you tell us how many packages of pizza rolls you had to purchase, or was this a family pack?
It was one package. I do not recall if it was family. if it was regular size or if it was the new Super Family pack.
Can you tell
that
us
they
what
sell
brand?
at Costco.
Can you tell us what brand?
Just generic Costco ones. You know, the kind of like ones that like have a little bit of actual marinara in them, so it's weird. It seems like they're like pizza rolls trying to be Italian or something. It was those ones. Like, not the actual pizza rolls, like the brand name pizza rolls, but like the knockoff generic ones.
And could you give us a time span of when you ate these pizza rolls?
I would
Was
say
it
from
over
about
32 hours or 24?
I'd say about 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
I got a real cat's tongue, so I like them. I don't like them super hot, so I pop them out of the oven. I let them sit there for about 10 minutes. I get my ranch dressing. I put it on the plate, and I slide the pizza rolls over there. And I
So you don't microwave them.
No, I put them in the oven.
Well, I at least respect
well, that's
that.
yeah,
You're
that's
a
the only
patient man.
reasonable way to make them.
I will give you that. Okay. You also have been complaining apparently about not being able to make chili over the weekend.
That's right. That's right.
Why
I
is
just
that?
don't think it's fair is all. She doesn't like the chili because it takes a long time to cook, right? And I really like to I really like to let it sweat. I get it on there. I make a day of it. I drink some beer. I like to listen to country music while I'm making my chili, and cutting
Do
everything
you pour
up.
anything into that chili?
If I'm doing a standard big pot of chili, which I can eat over, the course of like a week, I like to put beer in it. I like to get all my garlic and onions in there with my oil, right? Just a little bit of oil. I put the spices in there to let it bloom, right? I let that go for a little bit till the onions caramelize. I put some beer in, right? Add some chili powder. I start working in the peppers, letting the peppers kind of go. And it's like a piece-by-piece process.
So I have a question about this beer that you're putting in the chili. Is the sip of gold, is that going in the chili?
The sip of gold is saved for me. I pour the top part of the beer in, wait till it gets to the sip of gold. I have
That
one
is the
sip of
golden
gold.
sip.
That's the sip of gold.
The first sip is the golden sip.
But the
I'm
sip
out.
of gold is the
The
final
last-
sip.
The
we've
final sip
established.
is the sip of gold. Now, I will acknowledge that the first sip is the golden sip, but the last sip is the sip of gold.
So in that case, you keep that. I think earlier you were claiming that you offer that sip of gold to your girlfriend, but now we're getting contradictory evidence that you actually take it for yourself when you're making chili. Maybe this has to do with why she
No.
doesn't like the chili.
No, it's not
That
true.
would make sense to me.
It's not true. I don't offer it to her because she gets mad at me when I cook the chili.
But you claimed
And
that
she-
you offered it at other times. You don't offer it when she's mad. You only offer it when she's not mad.
Well, she leaves the room, so I can't offer it to her.
All right. Well, we have something else chili related here in the report. I'm holding up a photo right now. It kind of looks like, to my eye, it kind of looks like
Wow,
diarrhea.
that looks really good.
It looks
That
like
looks really good.
diarrhea on like maybe a block of
Can you
cheese
show
or
this?
something.
Can you show this to the house here?
Yeah. Can you tell me what this photo is?
Why is everybody gasping?
What is pictured here? Do you recognize this meal?
Yeah, that's dinner. That's what I call it. That's what I call a nice dinner. Got some
Mr.
slices
Branson-
of cheese, got some hot dogs under there, pour some chili on it. That's a dinner right there.
Can you state for the record what this dinner is exactly supposed to be?
It's a chili dog. There's 2 chili dogs.
Mr. Branson, I've been a senator for a long, long time, and I can tell you that is not a chili dog.
It's smothered. It's smothered style.
Well, tell me this. How did your friends react when they saw a photograph of this
Well,
alleged
mostly
dinner?
disdain. Honestly, to be quite honest, I almost felt like I was betrayed there by her. I felt like I was betrayed because I wasn't trying to make anything that looked fancy or nothing. I was just trying to make a nice dinner, and then she laughed at me and sent it to my friends to mock me. And it caused me a lot of emotional strife. I considered suing at that point, but cooler heads prevailed.
But this committee would like to ask you, is that the behavior of a compliant and good boyfriend to make a meal so revolting that your significant other laughs and feels that this evidence needs to be shared with the broader community?
I feel like that is acceptable or even good boyfriend behavior because it was a meal for me she had already eaten.
It seems like you put her through a degree of emotional stress too, though. I'm not really.
I don't think.
I'm not
I think
buying it.
I think she got pure joy from dragging me through the dirt kicking me like a common street dog before hammering in 4 nails through my dog paws.
Okay,
and
enough with the street dogs, Mr. Branson. We're gonna move along here to the second part.
Well, actually, sorry, one more thing in this part. I want to just say a couple of items and just tell me what you think about them. A couple of food or beverage items.
Okay.
How about a big 32-ounce energy drink? What do you think of that?
Wow. Not bad.
Okay, how about this? Salisbury steak.
Wow, pretty good.
Okay. So these things to you are not bad and pretty good. Do you think it's boyfriend-like behavior to have such lofty opinions of these foods that are clearly bachelor foods and are not suitable for a man in a relationship?
According to who?
According to the federal government, with the bylaws set out to determine which stay-at-home boyfriend receives a subsidy.
I'll issue one statement on Salisbury steak, and this will be my last time talking about it, because it's gotten a bad rap throughout the years because it's not steak.
Okay, I want to tell the reporters in the crowd to brace themselves.
Salisbury steak, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Ooh. All right.
My word.
Okay. All right. Please.
Okay,
Please.
order in this
Please.
chamber.
Now, Mr. Loud, should we move along to the second part of this hearing?
Yes, let's do that. Now we have an anonymous witness who cannot be named in front of this room today, who has a number of grievances that come from your own household. This particular person that you have a certain relationship with has a number of grievances that are pertinent to what we're discussing here today. So Senator Chimp and I would just like to ask you like a series of questions and just kind of see where that leads us. Now, are there ever times when perhaps your significant other has to sleep on the couch? Perhaps you've been scream podcasting about being eaten like a turkey for dinner that night. This particular anonymous witness had to go sleep on the couch because she had a 9 a.m. quarterly meeting at work, and you were just screaming about being eaten. Does this ring any bells, or do you have any thoughts on this?
Yes, this does. First of all, I'll say 9 a.m. is a normal time. You know, it's not that early. It's a normal time.
I'll concur with that. It's actually pretty late. That's sleeping in.
Yeah, it's a normal time. It's 9 a.m. So not too worried about that. And with the screaming about eating is just sometimes I have to do what I have to do through my creativity to kind of bring in the bacon, you know, a little
So what
bit.
you're saying is you're trying to put some bread on the table or bring home the bacon or whatever.
I'm trying to put some bread on the table. I'm trying to get I want a big piece of the pie, right? Deluxe apartment in the sky, right? These things cost money. So sometimes, you know, you got to do it. And as for the content, well, you just kind of got to go.
Well, hold on. On that note, I want to ask Mr. Branson, what kind of bread and also what kind of pie?
I'm imagining a nice apple pie, and for the bread, I'm imagining a nice baguette.
Okay.
Maybe
French?
with some garlic butter on the side that you can.
Okay. Maybe a spread with some olive oil and some oregano in that.
Oil.
Maybe some balsamic
vinegar.
with olive
maybe,
oil.
Yeah, maybe some olives to the side. Maybe just even getting like a whole, like some.
Maybe some prosciutto, perhaps capicola.
Some white cheddar.
Well, he already brought home the
just sliced
bacon,
in.
so I think the
feta
prosciutto
cheese, or maybe a
prosciutto
nice
might be
blue
redundant
cheese
with the
crumble.
bacon.
Right, or maybe like just a whole spread. You get some walnuts on there too. Maybe some like.
Might have to take
some
recess
jelly.
soon.
Yeah, we might have to.
So, and then the pie, would it include a scoop of vanilla bean ice cream?
It would be vanilla bean ice cream, of course. It would be on
Thank
a
you.
singular slice of it right there.
No further questions on that matter.
With a nice cup of coffee.
Even better. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, I'm going to just read directly from the report of these grievances. Have never walked into a fully flushed toilet since he moved in.
That's a lie. That's a lie. She is.
Well, can you prove that?
I mean, we can. I'll tell you what. I'm a bathroom man. Everyone knows this about me. That's my friend. I'm a bathroom man. I like using the bathroom 4, 5, 6 times a day. It's how my body works. I'm a big guy. I'm a big guy.
You certainly are.
6'6".
Wait, now when you say 4, 5, 6 times a day, do you mean poo-poo or pee-pee?
I mean, mostly poo-poo, honestly. Like, if I'm...
Mostly, do you defecate more than you void, Mr. Branson?
Well, even let's look at it. In the last 2 hours, I've done 2 number 2s because I had Scotch eggs for dinner. And they're not full-size voids. They're not full-size voids. They're like kind of like sludgy.
That's a void is urinating, sir. Sorry. Urination.
Well, then what do we call the dumps?
Well, I said defecating. You could say what you said.
Dumps. So, yeah, I'll void when every single time I dump, I void. But not every single time I void, I dump.
As anyone should. Thank you.
Right. You're welcome. Hey,
all right,
anytime.
Mr. Loud, I pass it over to you.
I would like to comment an addendum to my answer there. I scrub that sucker every time I use it. I scrub the hell out of that thing. I'm down there on my hands and knees scrubbing it. But the thing is, it's like an old toilet and there's some like crusted gunk at the bottom. So when I scrub it, it knocks some of that crust off and it looks like doo-doo, but it ain't. All right? Because I get in there and I clean it.
Okay, well, we have another matter.
Ever since I've started living with a woman,
Mr. Branson, we have a lot to go over here.
I pee with I leave the toilet seat down when I pee.
So you get it all over the seat?
I'll forget to put it up. I'll forget to put it up after. So I want to be considerate, and I leave it down, and I pee.
Well,
sometimes
do you mean you
I get
forget
it on
to
the
put
seat.
it down?
I put it on the seat, but when I pee and I get some on the seat, I'll wipe it off with the toilet paper
Mr. Branson,
or maybe a thick sock that I'm wearing at that time.
Spare us the details.
Okay, we have
Truth must be told.
There's more allegations about your bathroom behaviors. When you, let's say you trim your beard, do you pay attention to where the hair goes? Can you tell me where that hair ends up after you have trimmed that beard?
Well, sometimes it gets in places, and there's just nothing you can do about it. I try to clean as all as I can. But as anyone with a beard knows, they're very coarse little hairs, and they tend to jump around and get around. They'll get in, like, the soap dispenser. They'll get in the, the sink and stuff like that.
But let me ask you a question. On that sink, does your girlfriend keep a toothbrush there?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, when these beard hairs are getting all over the sink area, are there beard hairs getting on that toothbrush?
I wouldn't know. I do not know at this time.
Well, we have heard from our confidential source that the answer is actually an affirmative yes. There are beard hairs on that toothbrush.
Well, I don't know. My bad. Chalk that. Yeah, I guess I'm human. Guess I'm not this perfect little golden angel baby that is hairless and just flies around singing songs, making every... Sorry, I'm not that. I guess I'll try harder to be a golden hairless baby that flies around singing songs.
This is not in the report. This is me asking you a question. Do you feel that you are hated?
I am hated. I am potentially one of the most hated people of all time.
I think that's a little bit of an exaggeration. I think
the
we can
media
agree.
looks at me like I am this dirty, wet dog that is rolling around on a cobblestone street in 18th century England, and all they want to do to me is grab me by my paws, hammer those paws into a wooden crucifix, and light me on fire to prove I'm a witch. That's what the media wants to do to me.
I don't think that's true.
I think it's true. I really do. I think it's true. I really do.
All right, let's move along to the next grievance. This says, buy him a 36-pack of Cheez-Its. For the lunch pack, I pack him every single morning, only to wake up to him passed out drunk on the couch with 11 empty Cheez-It bags surrounding him.
There's not 11. That never happened.
What would you estimate there were?
Tops 3.
Yet this event did occur. You admit to that.
No, because that event says 11. I'm telling you it tops out at 3, and usually it's mostly 1.
So this event occurred at 3.
Yeah, sorry that I eat normal food when I'm drunk at night, because what she does is she just like hard boils eggs and eats them like a taco on a piece of bread.
May I remind you that you are on trial here? And by trial, I mean a hearing,
Yeah, I know.
not a trial.
I can tell, because I'm persecuted. I feel like I'm on trial here.
Well, it seems like you're trying to deflect blame to others who are not present.
We still have a lot to cover. I think Senator Loud, you should.
Okay, there's another allegation from this anonymous source that says sometimes in the middle of the night you just scream "why," and it sends this person into complete terror. and she wakes up and she's startled, but then you just immediately fall back asleep unfazed.
I'm a curious guy.
Okay, no further questions on that.
Okay,
Curious
we're gonna
guy.
move along.
Like,
We're gonna move along here. Comes home from work where I've already started making an elaborate dinner from scratch, and he is, quote, not hungry yet, end quote. And then
It's
I find
5
a bag.
o'clock.
Please let me continue. And then I find a bag full of empty Dave's double wrappers in his car.
that was from lunch.
What time did you have this lunch, and how many double whoopers did you eat?
Well, typically, I don't like fries, and one sandwich isn't enough to make me
I'll
hungry.
concur with Mr. Branson on this. Fries, as you get older, do not
It's a
agree with you.
waste.
They'll make you upset, and your stomach will feel awful. You'll want to just sleep immediately, and they're just not good to eat anymore. So the 2-sandwich move, I think, is
I'm a
proper.
two-sandwich
But that's what
mover,
I'm wondering
right?
is what time were these 2 sandwiches
But
eaten
yes,
at?
when were these
These are
eaten?
keep in mind these are double whoopers. Dave's double. This is 4 burgers in 2 sandwiches.
No, it's not a Dave's
large
double
burgers.
whooper.
They're much bigger
I will
than the
say
double
that
stack.
I never get any of the hamburgers at Wendy's. I am a spicy chicken man through and through.
So you eat 2 spicy chicken sandwiches right before you go home, where you're
No, I eat 2 spicy chicken sandwiches at 12:30 or 1.
Well, then the question still stands of when you get home, why are you not hungry yet?
It seems presumptuous to think that it's 5:30, I have to be super hungry, because that's like her diet schedule, and she just wants me to compromise my independence as a man. I'm a man. I'm a red-blooded man, and I can eat lunch whenever I want. All right?
Mr. Branson, do you like to eat food though? Do you like food?
Yeah, I could eat.
I think it's pretty clear looking at Mr. Branson that he likes
You could
food.
eat, and yet
What are you
you
trying to
come
say?
home and you say you're not that hungry yet.
Well, the thing is, too, that, okay, if she's going to cook this elaborate dinner, then that means it's my responsibility to clean. And sometimes I just don't want to start cleaning right when I get home. I want to sit and kick my feet up for a little bit. So
Oh, your
I'm
dogs-
not that hungry.
Are your dogs
My
barking?
dogs are barking.
Are they tired at the end of a long day?
Oh, yeah.
Putting bread
Mr.
and bacon on
Branson,
the
do you
table.
sit down at your place of employment?
Yeah.
So why do you need to sit down when you come home?
Well, because I don't need to sit down when I come home. I need to lay down.
Why?
I cannot
even
lay
worse.
down in my office cubicle.
Why do you need to lay down? You've been sitting down all day. It seems like you have plenty of rest.
No, it's not rest, because I'm typing at the computer.
Doesn't sound very difficult to me.
It's
Why don't we
not
move
very
on
difficult.
to the next?
No, you can't just say that, and you can't just get your little pot shot on there for CNN. Or
Yes, I
C-SPAN.
can. I'm a U.S.
No, you
senator.
Can't. I'm not. I deny you your little clip of dunking on me. I must explain myself.
You can't do
I'm a
that. You can't
tall
just
man.
deny me.
I'm a tall man.
You're the one here for this hearing.
I'm a tall man, and I'm sitting in a computer chair. Sometimes I need to straighten my spine out.
Sounds like you need to stand up a little bit more.
And maybe be a little bit more grateful when that dinner is waiting for you at home.
You guys, all right, that's fine. Let me look around here and I'm just trying to look
Mr.
around
Loud,
this room.
will you field the next?
I'm looking for this cross you guys must have hidden, because you guys are going to try to put me right up on this as soon as this is done, huh?
That is quite enough, Mr. Branson.
You guys keeping the cross behind
Mr.
you back
Branson,
there?
if you do not remain quiet, we will have to hold you in contempt.
This next allegation is something that actually, it's conceivable that this happens when you get home and you lay down, like you're describing. It seems that sometimes when you're in this position, maybe you're sitting on the couch or something, though. Do you wear Tiros? Tiro 17s around the house?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I guess you're in the other room for this one. So maybe you're laying down in the bed, like you've gotten home, you've got your Tiros on. The anonymous source is watching TV in the other room, and it would appear that you start scratching yourself. Tell me, where do you like to scratch yourself when you're wearing your Tiros?
All over, really. I like to scratch all over. And makes it real easy to get into your Tiros and
Is there
scratch around.
perhaps scratching that happens that is so deafeningly loud that it supersedes? This is the words in the document. Supersedes the TV volume. There's so much scratching going on.
I don't know about how loud it is, but yeah, there's some scratching I like to do. I like to scratch. I'm laying in my own bed. Can I not scratch?
Well, is there a way to scratch at a volume that is sub-TV level?
Perhaps you have a medical condition if you're scratching so hard that you are making so much noise that someone cannot hear above.
I think that maybe somebody's being a little dramatic about, I'm an itchy guy. I like to scratch. I got a big body. I got coarse hairs, like a little, those little iron scrubbers. What are those called?
Steel wool. Scrubbers.
Steel wool. I got little steel wool pubes, and when I scratch them, it makes a cacophony of cricket noises. So what?
Did you say cricket noises?
Just turn up the TV. That's what I say.
All right, we're going to move along. This says, told him I was doing the keto diet, and he used 6 eggs and all of my expensive cheese to make himself, quote, huevos brancheros, end quote.
I didn't know she called dibs on the eggs. First of all, she says the keto diet. I don't know what any of that means, right? So I just smiled and nod and said, you do whatever you want. And then, I don't know that means she has dibs on certain foods.
Well, can you explain to this room what huevos brancheros is exactly?
Yes. It's great.
Go ahead.
Good. It's all right. So you get some chips, right? Just a bag of chips. Tortilla chips. You don't want any like Doritos or stuff. You could use them, I guess, but the dust might be weird. Like just a dustless chip. If you have a dustless chip, all right? And you're gonna like put some chips in a skillet. You're gonna pour some salsa on the chips, and they're gonna get all soft like tortilla strips in there. And then you're gonna crack some eggs on top. Right?
How many eggs though?
As many as you want. If you're a big guy or if you're a real man, you might want 6 eggs. If you're a lesser man, you might want like 4 or 3. And you scramble them up and you put some cheese on it. You put some pepper and some hot sauce, a lot of hot sauce. Make it nice and hot so you got to use the bathroom later, right? And then you slide that off into a plate. It's a big lumpy thing, and that's a huevos rancheros. And it's very good, and it's good for you.
Like I said, we might have to take recess soon.
So we're getting a report that this person asked for a perfume for Christmas and gave you a specific favorite brand that she wanted, and you bought Victoria's Secret Love Spell instead. Parentheses, girls know how much of a crime this is.
All right, well,
I think that's a ridiculous grievance. We should move along.
Yeah, obviously looking around at this Congress Committee of Boyfriend Activities, I'm looking at it. It's all just guys in here.
Everyone's just shrugging.
Like the perfume that she sent me was like $70, right? And the Victoria's Secret one was on sale. I saw it on Slick Deals with a Z, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get that one. It's way cheaper." Because I wasn't rolling in the dough like I am now. Times are tough.
All right, I'll read the next 2 questions. Then Senator Loud, you can, or not questions. I'm sorry, grievances. Senator Loud, you can finish off with the last short 3. Every time he cooks meat, he just, quote, blasts it, end quote, on the stove, parentheses, still not sure what that means. And our apartment fills up with smoke, and my eyes burn and cry for 40 minutes while he tries to whip it out the window with a towel for 40 minutes during Big Little Lies.
Exaggeration. First of all, Big Little Lies, man. Have you guys had to see that?
I have no idea what that is.
I would like to stay on the topic at hand.
Oh, that's rough. I always got to find some stuff to do when that's one's going on, because it's just a show where women frown at each other and nothing happens. And they'll cut to a scene, and it's like a dawn on a beach, and 2 women meet up to frown at each other there, and then they go and they talk to other different women to frown at. It's the most dismal show in the world. It's awful. So I got to find stuff to do, right? And I like cooking meat. I got a new cast iron, right? You want a nice crust on your steak, right? We got a small kitchen. You blast it, the cast iron, to as hot as you can, right? Put a nice, you get a nice little coat of, rub some oil on the steak, just a thin layer of oil on the steak. You put it down on there. You put some butter. You spoon it over. As hot as it gets black. It gets a little, not black, but brown. It gets a nice crust, with your salt and pepper on it and whatnot. And then you flip it, and it's still rare in the middle, and it's nice and good. And so what if the house gets a little smoky? I already took all the batteries out of the smoke detector, so it's
Branson,
fine.
are you known to turn off a light after leaving a room?
Yes, but in my defense, every single time, I sarcastically offer to pay for what it costs to keep that light on every time I do it.
Okay, one more question from me. Yeah. So do you leave all the kitchen cabinets wide open all the time?
Yeah, I forget. Yeah, every now and then I leave all.
What do you mean? Do you forget?
Well, here's the thing. If I'm doing the dishes, right, I'll open up all the cabinets and then I just start throwing stuff in rapid fire, right? And then when I'm done, I'm like, oh, all done, and my brain turns off and I start, turning around and I don't close all the cabinets. Honestly, it's an easy fix. It's an easy fix.
But why should it be her who has to fix it? Couldn't you just fix it by closing the things?
Well, I forgot. I'm sorry I'm not this golden angel baby that's flying around the air, singing
Senator
all
Loud,
my rainbow songs.
Why don't you cover the last two, and then we'll move along to the final.
Yeah. Are you familiar with
decisions.
a game called Mordhau, Mr. Branson?
Yeah.
Okay. So have you ever played this game and drank maybe, say, 7 glasses of bourbon to enjoy the game a little bit more?
Yeah. Sounds fun, right?
Has anyone ever walked in on you throwing up on the bedroom wall because you were too inebriated?
Yeah.
Does that seem like boyfriend-like behavior to you?
Well, in my defense, she cleaned it up real quick. So there wasn't any stains. So all's well that ends well is what I like to say.
Okay, and final question. You enjoy beer, right? Of course, we all enjoy a nice beer at night. However, do you think that beer exempts you from the duty of brushing your teeth before bed?
I mean, I have been known to brush my teeth before. Who's to say? Sometimes people forget stuff. Sometimes
So I would ask the question, do you not brush your teeth because the beer makes you lazy? Or do you not brush your teeth because beer is like an antiseptic or whatever anyway, and it cleans them up nicely anyway?
Well, it's
that alcohol washes the teeth.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, it washes the teeth. It purifies
I don't think there's
it.
any truth to that. Mr. Branson.
Oh, he just said it.
You
Are
use
calling
alcohol to clean stuff, right? So why can't a beer clean your teeth?
Yeah.
Well, it's full of sugars and other things. Well, okay, we're going to move along here. Mr. Branson, I want to ask you some questions. Please answer yes or no. I want to go back to 2018. You were at an establishment called Bobbin. Do you recall this night?
I mean, there's a couple of them.
Perhaps you had just met a friend who you had known for some time, but you're hanging out in person with
Yes.
this friend.
Now, so the answer is yes.
Yes.
Do you remember overhearing your co-host mention doing Slovak folk dancing as a child?
Yes.
And what was your reaction to this?
Thought it was yes or no questions or.
Oh, now you
Can I
can
go?
answer openly.
Oh, I punched him in the chest.
You punched him in the chest.
Yes.
Are you aware that's assault?
Yeah.
Are you aware that he can sue you?
Yeah.
Are you aware you can go to prison?
Yeah.
Are you aware that it made a bruise?
Oh, bruise? He got a bruise?
Actually, there are a number of allegations along these lines from your friends. Do you remember one time?
I'd love to see him take me to court for that and admit in court that he took Slavic folk dancing.
Well, it says Slovak. There's a difference.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That sounds way cooler.
a boorish man of the disposition
Slovak is
here
specifically
would not
to
understand the
Slovakia.
difference.
Yeah.
Slavic is a region.
We have
in
other allegations that one time in Missouri.
I hope he takes me to court so that I can use my magic homeschool bus line and get that dictated down that he drives the magic homeschool bus.
Are there any truth to these allegations that one time in Missouri you were, drinking a few beers, having a weekend, with some friends, and things were getting out of control? You dropped your gold chain in the lake and you lost it. There was a certain amount of grab ass and slapping going on, and just
in my defense, I was not the only one partaking in grab ass.
However, this was a workplace environment because of your podcast, where when you hang out with your friends, it's technically a workplace. We got a number of reports of workplace harassment from your colleagues.
All right, but a reverse question back to you, the Kings. How does this make me a worse boyfriend?
Well, it just doesn't seem like you respect your friends, and it seems like you are physically abusive toward your friends. So if that's how you're going to be toward your friends, then we can only imagine that reflects poorly on all of your relationships in your life. I mean, there's been times when we go
a counter question. I would say, I would ask them, "What are you going to do? Cry about it?" Is probably what I would say to them right here if they were here right now.
That's fair. Now,
Well,
I would like.
what we're going to do is remove your subsidies under this program if you can't defend yourself against the allegations.
Well, that's not fair because there's nothing to do with me being a boyfriend.
But a good boyfriend has to treat his friends right, too. You can't just take it all out on your friends.
I think actually the worse you are to your friends, the better of a boyfriend you are. I believe that's popular knowledge.
Okay.
I think we can finish up here.
Do you guys want me to read my closing statement?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think that would be best.
Who's running this show? Just kidding. All right. To the lieges, the kings, and the your majesties of the senator courtroom, I like beer. I like the smell of beer. I like drinking it slow. I like drinking it fast. I will never, ever stop drinking beer. I like to drink beer, and I like to raise the roof while I am drinking beer. I could drink beer at a ball game, at a debate, or a swanky high-end fashion show. I could drink beer at the swanky high-end fashion show and walk in with a meatball sub and take a big bite and shoot one of the meatballs out the other end right into the fashion floor, right? I could go to a San Francisco women's only space with my big meatball sub, and I could spin around in circles getting marinara sauce everywhere as long as I have a beer. It doesn't matter where. I just like drinking some beers and hanging out. Beer rocks. It is cold, and you can tell it is cold when the mountains are blue on the beer. Anyone that has ever drank beer with me knows that I am cool, and I like drinking beer, and I am very fun to drink beer with. I remember all the good things to say when I'm drinking beer with my friends. Fat bastard, get in my belly. I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk me? You're killing me, Smalls. Stop looking at me, Swan. Never touch a black man's radio. You're my boy Blue. Milk was a bad choice. My wife. And I know many more quotes, which are perfect for parties or whatever. My favorite part of the beer is how it makes me feel, which is good. When I drink it, and sometimes when I think about it, I like it so much that I can just think about it. Sometimes I have too much beer, but it really doesn't bother me much, just other people who get mad at me when I drink too much of the beer. So I don't worry about it too much. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I wish I was drinking a beer right now. I wish I was drinking a beer really fast, and there was a bunch of people happy that I'm doing that. But I'm not drinking a beer right now, like I normally would be. If it wasn't for this Senate hearing right now on a Tuesday morning, my sixth favorite day and my least favorite time of day to drink a beer. I wish I was on a beach somewhere drinking beer and watching like a wet t-shirt contest. I wish I was biting my knuckle during the wet t-shirt contest. I wish I was wearing a lampshade on my head at a cool party, and I am saying, let's party to everyone while I wear the lampshade on my head, and everyone listens to me say, let's party, and starts to party and gives me a beer, and I drink the beer, and we are having a good time on my head with the lampshade. I wish, in my heart of hearts, that I was on a three-person bicycle with two other cool guys. We are driving too fast through a wedding. And when we come out the other side of the wedding, we are all holding beers. And one guy has a bra on, and one guy has a bow tie on now. And I am wearing the wedding veil. And I turn around and I say sorry, and everyone laughs. I wish I was doing this right now. I wish I was doing all these things right now, drinking a beer. But I'm not. I'm here. I am defending myself to a world that hates me and wants to see me dead, when I know in my heart that I am the man. I am the man, and if you would like to condemn me here today, saying I am a bad boyfriend, when I am cool and a good boyfriend and good friend to all, I will still be the man. I will march into jail and into hell, and I will be raising the roof wishing I had a beer. And I will not be portrayed as a mangy, plague-ridden dog in the streets of England, covered in soot from a chimney and being chased by a crowd of people with pitchforks until they catch me and hammer and nails and put me on a cross in the middle of 18th century industrialized England, and they burn me because they think I'm a witch, even though I'm a dog and I'm in the street, and they hate me because that's what they should do. Thank you. I love you. God bless you. I love you. Bye-bye. Peace out.
Mr. Branson, after hearing all the statements, reading every detail of this 3,500-page case report dossier, and speaking here today with you, I think we can come to the conclusion that you are a very big man. A man who is set in his beliefs and his ways.
Not just a man, but duh man.
Whether disgusting, repugnant, honorable, and even admirable. Who lives as big as you are, and are indeed the man. You are not perfect. You're not the perfect boyfriend, but you are simply human. This hearing today has allowed me to understand that much. With nothing more, this is my suggestion to my fellow senators to clear you of any wrongdoing.
Mr.
That's
Branson,
what's up.
more than clearing you of any wrongdoing, this committee is ready to raise your stipend to $250,000 a year pursuant to a keg stand contest with your friends this weekend.
Oh, that's what's up.
Well, if there are no objections, then I think we are ready to adjourn this hearing.
Nah, I'm good.
All right, then I'll just click the adjourn button here.
I thought you had a gavel.
No, we got a button. It's 2019.
Well, that's what's up.
And I'm not a judge.
See, what are you guys doing after this?
I don't know. I might get a couple beers.
You can get some oysters,
Down
and some
on
beers.
K Street. That's a place where people in DC go. They go to
I think
K
we should go
Street.
to I think I could get a nice charcuterie board at
Hey,
Steam
save
Whistle.
some for me, boys.
Ooh.
Let's
All
go
right,
to
well,
one of
let's
the
blow
hot
this
spots
popsicle
us
stand.
senators like to go to.
I'm wearing a basketball jersey under the chute. I'm going to rip it off the second I get outside. All right, well, I brought my own gavel, so I'm just going to hit it. Meeting's adjourned. I'm the man.
Well, you heard it here, folks. Mr. Branson has retained his stay-at-home boyfriend government stipend. This is great news for all the guys who sleep on twin mattresses on the floor. As you can see, Mr. Branson is leaving the Capitol, raising the roof, ripping open his button-up shirt and revealing an Allen Iverson jersey. He's now shotgunning a beer like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Okay, he's now pouring the beer on a small child, and Mr. Branson has been arrested. He's been arrested. Okay, well, we'll stay tuned for further developments. This is Andrea Korkberg for C-SPAN on Vice, signing off.
The following is an archived podcast presented by the Branson and Hudson Foundation for Podcast Recovery. This podcast is entitled Just Sold. It is the first and only episode of the podcast. Welcome to episode 1.
All right, we're rolling. We got this going.
this thing
Regis,
going?
Yeah, is your mic on?
Wait,
Hold
your
on.
kid. You get
My
this from
son's
your kid.
holding up the finger. Does that mean go or what? You point. Don't roll your eyes at me, Bentley. All right, come on. You setting this up? We got this going. All
We're
right.
paying you a lot of money for this, kid. Come on. Smile. Where's that smile? Come on. Give Uncle Regis. All right.
Give him a smile. He spent a lot of. All right. You know what? He walked away.
My
Fine.
Godson
That's
can't
fine.
give me a goddamn smile. What's the deal?
You know what? You can buy a lot of things. You can't buy the love of a child. They
Anyway,
always
what's
say
this?
that.
What are we doing? Let's get this going.
Okay, I'll do I got this all planned out.
It's like the thing right now to do this. It's like a radio, right?
Yeah, except it's gonna grow our brand. That's what I got told. It's gonna grow our brand. All right, welcome everybody to Just Sold, an exploration in real estate mechanics and finding your dream home for the perfect dream for you and your family. My name is Bought the Dream Dealer, and I am here with my boss technically, but a good friend of mine, Regis Closer.
I would like to think I'm your friend before I'm your boss.
You know, I gotta say that.
That's right. I'm a Regis Closer. What I like to say is, if I don't sell you your dream house, you can kill me. Really,
Yeah,
I give everyone a gun. I say, if you're not happy with, I give them a loaded gun. I say, if you're not happy, just put me down right here. No one's ever done it. I think they're too afraid.
You
Or
got the billboard
maybe,
where you got the gun in your mouth.
Maybe I actually just did sell them their dream house. I like to think that's what it is, because that's what I do. I sell people their dreams.
Yeah, I was there at that one closing you did where you're like, if it's not your dream house, it's not your dream house, and you pulled out the gun, you put it on the table. It's not your dream house, you know what to do. You know, and basically that took like 30 minutes until they said, yeah, it's my dream house. It's thank you.
What can I do? I close. It's in my name. I was born to do this. You know, my dad. I've been in this business a long time. My old man, he used to sell houses. You know, he taught me everything I knew. He sold houses to the Kennedys, Sinatra, Muhammad Ali, Don Draper, you name it. They all bought houses for my old man. And the closer name, tell you what, it's true. We close.
Yeah, you guys have that very straightforward family crest of just the money bag. And you just say, yep, we did it.
It's an honest goal. What America doesn't want to make some money, right?
And if you're wondering more about like who we represent, where we're from, we are from the Closer Group, all right, named after you, not yours truly, but the other one.
My old man.
And we are real estate agents, but more than that, we like to think that we're selling dreams. We're putting people in the home of their lives.
Opportunities
we're making people
to
happy.
fulfill your own dreams.
It's really a beautiful industry that we're involved in. To just get all these happy people making these enormous purchases on huge amounts of credit on money they don't have. It's really been an honor to kind of work alongside Regis in this industry for so many years. I myself have been doing this since I was about 25 when Regis picked me up and I was able to get my license and start working.
What were you doing? What were you doing when I picked you up?
Well, you know, I'm a salesman at heart, I will admit, and I was doing the Vita system, those vitamins that you kind of have to rub in your gums and stuff like that.
This guy was a mall kiosk rat. I'll tell you what. look how far you come.
But I got your attention, didn't I?
He wears diamonds. He drives the Benz. Look at him.
I may have been a rat, but I got your attention, right? When I sat there and I lotioned up your hand and I showed you my vitamins, and we talked to that kiosk for a good 2-3 hours.
Well, it was the perfect moment because my original apprentice, if you will, he had died that week, and
that very week. What's my luck?
Good guy,
I mean,
30 years old. He just, cocaine. Some people just can't handle it.
Some people can't handle it. Some people got like the Stu Unga nose and it rots out in front of them. And then they look like
this
Michael
guy right
Jackson.
here, Bart the Dream Dealer. This guy can handle his cocaine. I'll tell you what.
Well, this is also supposed to be a, this isn't just us talking. People are going to listen to this, and I don't know if we should kind of talk about.
Listen, Bart, I've told you this for a long time. You got to be honest with people. Honesty is what sells. No phony business.
Well, cocaine's illegal.
Not on a boat. Which is where we did it.
We did it on a boat, but we're in Indiana, and there's no international waters.
Lake
on
Michigan
a lake
is
or
international
a river.
waters because you got Canada up there.
Is that right?
You got Canada.
Oh yeah, I guess that's right if you think about it like that. Yeah, we did cocaine on a boat, and I can handle mine.
That was the same boat my Jimmy, my apprentice, is the same boat he died on.
Yeah. What's the name of that boat?
The Christmas tree.
The Christmas tree. Oh, and you always make us sing that Christmas tree.
No, all right. You don't gotta. Or
well,
let us know that it busts out the blow. Blah blah blah. But yeah, Jimmy, he had a little bit too much. We had to dump him overboard. We never found his body. Really sad.
Yeah, well, we found it, or you found it, and you just dumped it. You can't dump.
He died on the boat. We dumped him into the water. We never found the body. It's really sad.
What? But you found the body and then you disposed of it. You can't say that you never found the body.
We didn't find the body. He died right in front of our eyes. He was right there.
Yeah, I know. So you saw
went to cardiac arrest.
At that point, he became the body, and you dumped him.
And we put him in the water. We thought that he liked that. He thought it'd be nice.
Okay. Well,
he loved the ocean.
Well, you kind of gave him an Osama bin Laden burial, but that's fine.
Don't you compare Jimmy to Osama bin Laden?
I'm not comparing it. I'm just saying that they were both
one thing about
disposed
Osama
of
bin Laden.
in the water.
That guy was a terrorist, but that guy could probably hoop. Tall guy.
Could hoop. He could shoot. He could, a little skinny. I don't think he could do much in the post.
You still rock. Probably sell him a place. The place that you like. I got a cave for you.
You got a cave. You got anything for anybody as long as they're not on Section 8. That's what you always tell me.
It's true.
Don't want any of that nonsense.
No way. No way.
None of
Now,
that.
what are we doing here? So we're sitting here. We're in this basement bar. This
Right.
gorgeous.
I just had this done.
7,000 square foot Midwest Polish revival home that we're trying to sell. The basement alone could house a few families.
It could. It could.
It's got like 9 different staircases, 7 bedrooms, a full indoor kitchen.
All staircases spiral, by the way. The classiest way to go up anything.
Yeah, everyone thinks you're like a fucking wizard.
Yeah.
The only
you're going
problem,
up-
the only problem with this place, gorgeous, gorgeous home, a manor, is that there's just one bathroom and it's in the master suite on the 3rd floor. So
Yeah, it's a little rough. If we got to use a bathroom, we got to go all the way up.
what are you gonna do?
What are
They
you
put in
gonna
one
do?
bathroom when they built it. What are you gonna do?
I wanted to have a bar down here, like every about 45-year-old man who. Oh, you got a little blood in that one? Ugh. Like every 45-year-old man, I had to have a finished basement with a bar put into it, pretending that people would come over. But mostly, I like to sit down here alone and just kind of.
Folks, for you listening,
Kinda
this
think.
is not Bart's home, but we like to hang out
We
here.
live here temporarily.
Well, you're not supposed to be. We go where we go.
Well,
We
it's
live in our
international
cars. I'll tell you
waters.
what. You know where I live? I live in the Benz.
Oh yeah, I live in the G-Wagon. I love it. Basically.
Oh, the G-Wagon.
Taking people
young
around
Buck's
to
car,
and
a little
fro.
bit too flashy for me.
Yeah, you know what? I got it after the 3rd divorce. I thought, it's time to really, puff my chest out, so to speak. I'm a man. I want to feel like a man again after being stripped of that for so long. That I wanted the G-Wagon. I want to put on some wraparound sunglasses. I want to drive around. I want to slick my hair back, and I want to wink at girls. I'm never too. If you're a rich guy, you're never too old for like the nice hot girls.
Oh, I stick to my E-class, You're 45 years old, you could be driving the G-Wagon. I'm older. I'm only 47 years old. And I'm old. Look at me. White hair. My skin is, I got a permanent
Crisp.
tan
Yeah, crisp guy.
out of hard work.
You're the only guy I know with just those suit tan lines.
Yeah.
Because you're always in the sun from
Yeah.
driving around. I mean, honestly, we're
Yeah.
driving around showing houses all the time. 12-hour days. A lot of people think being a real estate agent is easy.
24-hour days sometimes.
Well, I mean, that's the normal
We do
length.
24-hour open houses sometimes.
Oh, yeah, those are rough. You got to sleep in shifts. You need a team for that one.
You got these couples coming in at 3 a.m. and, they expect you to be asleep or something. Nope, I'm awake. I'm ready
I'm
for
here.
you. Lights are on.
How are these cookies still so fresh, they say, at 3
I'm in there.
a.m.?
I'm blasting Fleetwood Mac. I'm just having a good time.
I'm standing up because if I sit down, I'm going to fall asleep. So I lean against the wall standing.
You guys, you younger guys, I'm telling you, you guys gotta learn how to push through it.
Well, I haven't found anything
We
that
have
excites
drugs
me
for it.
as much as Fleetwood Mac excites you and keeps you going.
Oh yeah, you know me. Anyway, what are we doing? What are we doing here?
Well, we
what are
got some
talking about?
listings here. We wanted to come up with this podcast entitled "Just Sold: An Exploration of Housing
talk
and
about
Housing
houses
Equity."
now. Yes.
Yes,
Talk about houses.
we're selling houses, all right? We got to have a podcast, so if people are interested, maybe in the closer group, are interested in a home, an upscale home in the Terre Haute area, all right, we are here to sell you some homes. And I got some listings here that I'd want to go over. First of all, if you're coming to the area, it's a very nice area. Legally, we can't say good neighborhood or bad neighborhood. Legally, we can't say crime statistics. And legally, we can't directly mention.
It's fucking Terre Haute. What do you want? You know it's a good place.
How do I say this? Neighborhood demographics. Legally, I can't mention that. But whatever you think the good demographic is, it's that one. I can legally say that. I ran that through my lawyers. So I can legally say whatever you think is the best, that's what it is. Because let's face it, I know what you're thinking. You know what I'm thinking. All right, $1 million homes. All right, we don't want any...
my question is, why the fuck does it matter? You look at me. I could be like 10 different races. Could I not? You have no idea what I am.
You look... I would describe
I
you
look.
as vague.
Yeah, that's right. I just look. I'm a... people don't know how to... They don't know how to clock me. They don't know how to, read me.
You're menacingly Mediterranean, and that's a big place.
Could be a lot of different things. You never know. It could be a black
And you've
guy.
never told me
Could be a
after
black
all
guy.
these years.
People don't know.
You could be a black guy. You could be. I'm thinking about it now, honestly. You could be. Who knows?
If they tell me I'm not, then I could say, "Are you sure you want to say that? You sure you want to tell me that?"
Yeah, I guess so. You could be anything under that big suit, too. Who knows? Anyway, I got some listings here. We're talking about selling houses, all right? If you're interested in any of these houses, make sure to go to our
say I look like
website.
Rod Stewart.
You
Rod
look like
Stewart. That's why I get a lot.
You get Rod Stewart a lot. Yeah, I can see that.
Rod Stewart with a little bit like
You got Busey teeth. You got some Gary Busey teeth right there.
well, I mean, like you gotta have a nice smile for the billboard.
I
you know
mean,
what
what layer? How many? I'm on my third layer of veneers. I just had them put the
Oh, you
new
got
ones
the thirds.
on over the old
Nice.
ones.
They
Yeah,
look
just
good.
got these ones in, made of 100% elephant.
You're looking
Pure
strong
ivory.
too. You got muscles going.
Oh yeah, that's well, I had to start working out because I lied about it so much. So I kind of had to start doing it when I told
You have the big body mass now where like you're just bursting out of your suit. That button right there is gonna go. When you're on that billboard.
I'm alcoholic strong. I'm beer strong. I look
Speaking of which, let me get another one of these martini. Put
Yeah,
about $6
all right.
in there.
Oh man, you really going? That's
I like
pretty
the
dirty.
olives.
I just got a jar of olives here too, if you want that.
Oh, I don't. My
Do you
martini.
have to
I don't
refrigerate these? I got them just sitting here, like they're peanuts.
No, it's fine.
Just swat the flies away from them. I'll put a
No, like
napkin
dirty.
over
I
'em.
call them the gutter martini because mine are the filthiest. They're nasty. They're porno martinis.
Oh yeah, stop! You're sticking your tongue out at me right now. It's distressing.
It's the porno martini.
I want to wash my face after looking
Little
at you
tongue
drink
flip.
that thing.
Yeah.
Oh man, God, ugh. After watching you drink those things, I need a cold shower. Anyway, I got a house here. I'm looking to sell it. All right, if you're interested, go to closergroup.com. Go to Bart the Dream Closer at Closer Group. I mean, Bart the Dream Dealer at
You better
Closer
watch
Group
it.
at Dream.
He'd love to marry me.
Want to sell
loves
the
that
house
gay
that I
towards
am
me.
living in.com. So go ahead, check out there, or just email me at BartDealer at I want to sell my house and I want to get a new house to live in instead of the house I have now.com. So go ahead and contact me there. My first home up, it's a beautiful home. Regis, you were here with me the other day as we took.
Oh yeah, we walked it. It was phenomenal. Wonderful.
Listen, a lot of people
Fantastic.
think you can't get beachfront property in Terre Haute, but guess what?
We're
I got
making
a
it happen.
I got a spectacular 3-story beachfront home with amazing lake views. All right. So here's what we did. Me and Regis, we filled it. We went to Home Depot, right? They still sell a lot of stuff that you shouldn't be able to get your hands on. We got some al-Baghdadi stuff at Home Depot, and we blew up the Terre Haute River just a little bit. We blew up the river just a little bit, and it is now legally a lake. So we got lakefront property here, folks. Brand new lakefront. The lakes existed for only one
And we'll be
year.
expanding on that. We're looking to make a little, the Great
do have
Lakes. We're gonna make another one, but I get with this idea. No, a little bit crazy. I know people will tell me, but Bart seemed to think it was a really good idea. We get a lot, get truckloads, dump trucks full of,
Well, it's kind of
salt, and we fill this thing up. Goes from a lake to being a sea. Then you got seafront property.
Then we got seafront.
Value goes way up.
Value goes way up. Probably we won't be able to blow up any more of the river to make it more of a lake for a little bit. We did get red flagged by Homeland Security, but grease a few palms, we'll get over that.
We're in some clubs. Smooth things over, easy.
Easy. Yeah, we just need some time. You can't do anything
I got a
overnight.
niece, pal.
So this is a gorgeous 6-bedroom, 4-full bath. It features a huge open floor pan, gourmet kitchen, largest in Ireland, beautiful high-end countertops, and this is something really special. This is something I'm really proud of. The countertops are made from real pieces of the Rosetta Stone. You talk about classy. We got part of the Rosetta Stone, and we're using them as table. It's got Greek and Egyptian written on it, and you can make your eggs on top of it there on the counting table. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Make a PB&J at 3 a.m. Fuck it.
Dining area, we got a living room with a marble fireplace, custom built-in cabinetry, and a bar. The entire home is filled with light as natural as my ex-wife's breasts aren't. And when I say ex-wife, you're probably wondering which one. And all three of them. I paid for it, by the way, and I didn't get those back in the divorce, if you know what I mean. My divorce lawyer was like, do you want them back? Do you actually want them back? I'm like, yeah, I want them back. And legally, I cannot do that. It almost cost me visitation rights with my kids to even bring it up. But here we are, more time to work. Second floor features a master suite with a walk-in closet, awesome lake views. And guess what? It's got his very own panic room. And it's featuring the laptop gun. It's got the laptop gun in the corner from Perfect Dark on the N64. Automatically shoots at people when they come into your panic room. All right, 2 more bedrooms, amazing views. From the balcony, you can see all the way to the Section 8 part of town that we don't like to talk about. And this is really interesting, too, because I wanted this put in. And if you don't want to look at poor people, this home is equipped with a patented Monsanto home privacy smokescreen that will constantly generate plumes of smoke up to 4 stories high. No one will be able to see. You won't have to look at anybody. And this home is $3.3 million. So we're looking at a 3% cut from selling it. That's over $1 million just for
That's a
us.
steal. That's a fucking
Just for selling it, we're going to get
steal.
a 3% cut. That's $1 million for us.
Gotta get here, folks. You gotta get here, folks.
All right, you got
Stuff's gonna go
anything,
quick.
Regis? What do you got?
I got one, this one right here. Yeah. Got a listing I typed up myself. I still do all my own work. I don't let the,
Yeah, you typed it up yourself. Those
the new
fingers
guys-
really aren't as.
I still do my work, so.
A lot of gouty fingers, really short. I think they've gotten shorter since I've known
All
you.
right.
You
All right. Whoa. All right.
You got Ninja Turtle hands.
Here we have a 6,400 square foot neo-Venetian style ranch split level. 5 beds, 3 baths, 2 pools. Absolutely drop dead gorgeous fucking piece of ass of a house. The stunning waterfront will suck you dry in mere seconds of stepping into the artisanal stone tile floors and the warm glow of the crystal chandeliers that fill the foyer with light from God himself. There are walk-in closets, a widow's walk, and all the sewage problems have been fixed. Previously owned by a Dracula who's a bachelor, who's hardly ever home due to being a film producer. Entertained with a full wet bar, hot tub, and basketball court in the back patio. 2 pools to keep cool in the Indiana sun, plus a pool house you can do your sins in. Perfect for a family of 4.
Now
That's about 3.2 million.
that basketball. We've been putting those basketball courts in almost every house we've got.
Every house we sell, we put a basketball court.
Trying to
every
land the
house.
big fish.
Full discretion, we want to be selling to athletes. That's where the
We
money's
want to
at.
sell. I want to sell a house to
I'll tell you what, I sold a home the first time I got this idea. Carmelo Anthony, I sold him his Florida-style home back in 2005. Young buck, just started. He insisted on having a basketball court that become a pool. And I said, fuck it, why not?
The thing I loved about selling Carmelo Anthony is when he's trying to buy a house, he'll take and make like about 15, 16, 17 offers before one even hits. And he just keeps going and keeps trying over and over and over. Just spitting out numbers, throwing them up
Guy's
like
been
they're
around
nothing.
forever. The guy knows how to make up his mind. He's picky. He's been to the playoffs like once. The guy's picky. He doesn't want to go to the playoffs.
Well, you don't want to say that one if he comes by. Carmelo, if you're listening, we love you. Buddy.
love you.
Come on down. Come on down. Bring your friends though. Bring Dame.
We've sold to some some big. Back in '98, I sold Opie and Anthony their first house together. They
I was surprised they were living
They
together.
did the show. They did the show most of the time out of that house. And when I was living in Malibu, I sold Fat Bastard, a nice modern place.
Ooh, Fat Bastard. I love him, man.
Now, as I understand it, he's still living there.
Yeah.
Lost a lot of weight too. He looks great.
Yeah, just gonna call him Bastard now. You all right? You can get the hanky. Oh
yeah,
man.
fucking touch me. Don't fucking touch me.
All right. Well, you're worried.
Dennis Leary, sold him a couple houses.
Yeah, Dennis Leary.
He said one of them was for just drinking. He said the other one was for just bitching.
The bitchin' house was right next to a Starbucks. It gave
Well, that's
him
the one
like
where he lived out with his wife.
That's 17 minutes of material right there living next to a Starbucks.
Oh, yeah, the guy's great.
The guy's a legend. Rescue me? What if firemen had problems? Great show. You look at a fireman, you think those firemen never have a problem in their life. You'd be dead wrong. They have problems just like us.
Oh, he's under fire? Oh, things are getting hot? But no, work is fine. It's a home that he can't handle.
He's going to rescue other people, but when it comes down to it, who's going to rescue him?
Who knows? Maybe the
It's a
viewer.
metaphor, I think. I don't know. I'm mostly a Ray Donovan guy lately.
Oh, the best.
His suits look so great. I put on my brown leather jacket.
We got to get him a house. We got to
We
beat
got to
him
get
up.
Ray Donovan a house. What do you get to get Ray Donovan a house, though? We got the basketball courts to get the basketball players in. What do you
Ray
get Ray
Donovan, we get him like an extra dumpster so he could dump someone's body in there. I don't know.
Yeah. Or we put the house, you get a men's warehouse built right in.
Oh, okay.
I would imagine if Ray Donovan was in like a Richie Rich scenario, he would get a men's warehouse put into his own home. So he could go to men's warehouse whenever he wants.
All right, where's this other listing you got?
All right, I got an amazing. This is a construction. They're building this now, so you get in on it. You're going to be the first person to live there.
So if you go online, they're gonna have the mock you made in The Sims, right?
Right.
You see the picture
I
you made in The
made it
Sims.
up in The Sims. It looks great. It was on my mother's computer in The Sims. You're going to see a beautiful 3-story home, right? You're going to see a basketball court. You can't really make them look that cool in The Sims, but I have it in there. And I got a pool right next to it. All right? So you can do all kinds of cool stuff there. I made it in The Sims with a video card that has not been updated with the GeForce Experience. We can't rotate it or nothing, but that's how it's going to look, I think. And if you want to input anything, you want a secret basement put into it, there's still time to build stuff in there to suit, right? We won't ask any questions. You want a trick bookshelf that will swing around when you hit a few piano keys? No problem. Want a secret entrance or exit for the help, or for mistresses, or for children, or any combination of these three? Oh, wait, I got no. Legally, I have to say this. Out of the combination of the help, mistresses, and children, one combination out of those three will not be allowed. Use your imagination. So this is a new construction, 3-story. It's got 5 bedrooms, 4 full baths, single-family home on a 54 by 80 lot. Right? Custom trim package, high-end appliances, hardwood flooring through all levels, a garage, everything you need. All right. So plans are in progress, right? So the rendering is for marketing purposes. It's not the exact replica of the home to be built. It's not even guaranteed to look as described.
Well, the house they're gonna get is gonna be real.
Right. And
that's a cartoon game that you made it.
Well, it's not a cartoon, but I know what you mean.
What the fuck are you talking about?
It's a video game. It's not a cartoon.
Same fucking cares. It's the same shit.
All right, you spit all over me there. Good lord. Anyway, it's gonna be anywhere from $400,000 to $4.2 million, depending on if my boy Trump is still in the White House, or if it's my boy Biden. What else? What do you got?
Oh, another one. Okay, this one I'm excited about. This is a 7,200 square foot, beautiful 10 baths. 10 beds. 20 baths.
10 baths. Whoa, 20 baths?
10 beds, 20 baths.
20 bathrooms. Yeah. I can't even imagine. I could go and use every bathroom once a day and have 0 bathrooms left over to use.
Not me. I don't even know if I'd have to use any of those once a day. I got mine backed up and I got, fucking prostate.
Yeah, they need to work that out of you. You need to suck that thing out of you.
So anyway, let me read the write-up. Okay. Are you dead and gone to heaven? No. Even better. You're alive and there. This is an unbelievably beautiful 7,200 square foot Elvish revival style dreamscape, perfectly suited for someone who is a lover of beauty, art, and pleasure. Upon arriving to this sexy compound of raw intensity, you'll be swept away by its towering green and white spires, Gothic curvature, and twisting stairways. Within the courtyard is a garden with elder trees not even from here, and a looking pool. In the backyard are the bathing gardens and the Forever Festival. Here you and all your closest 1,000 friends will think you are in the forest of Dionysus himself. Play some 1v1 with your kid on the basketball court just installed this year. If you need to relax with your favorite DVD, the home theater comes with its own concession stand you can spend $50 at. The kitchens have stone ovens straight from Sicily, and don't worry, the school is right next door. Make sure you wear a helmet to this open house because you're going to faint. And that's about $100,000.
Oh, that sounds like a deal.
Well,
And
I mean, it is, but there's a little bit of stuff that goes on with that property. I have to say that there are I mean, as you mentioned earlier, legalities and all that.
Wait.
I have to mention there are ley lines beneath this property.
Hold on. Is that the hold on, cover the mic. We'll cut this out. Is that the magical realism house?
Well, I mean, like whatever the fuck you want to call it, but like
It's a house with
like,
magical
these people
realism
don't
where you
really
say stuff
own,
and it manifests.
People don't really own the house. Like this place is like priceless.
And I'll tell you what, for $100,000, if you have a 3% commission on $100,000, that means you're only getting about $30 for selling.
Well,
that
depending
house.
on how things go, whoever lives there, stuff might happen to them. So it's
like they'll get cursed or they'll get their wishes or what?
well, they get like stuff like sucked out of them or removed or like they're used somehow. I don't know. Like the people who own the property. I mean, they're like weird. They're elves. They're weirdos.
All right. Well,
You've dealt with elves before. Their shit sucks to sell.
I know. They're really arrogant, and you have to
show
say
a
all the
picture
right
online of the place. The people who get there, it's totally different. They phase through stuff.
things. Well,
It's
good luck
weird,
on that.
like, what the fuck?
I just wouldn't sink too much time in that, Regis. It's not good.
What are you talking about? This is like an easy 100K. That's
Yeah,
like my
it's
habit
100
for a week. It's easy.
Yeah, but we only get a certain percentage. Are you getting a
No,
$100,000?
I get 100% of this.
Oh, shit, I guess that's pretty good then.
Hey, what are you talking to?
Shit, I don't
I'm
know.
Regis Closer.
I've never had a good deal with the elves. I don't like working with the elves.
It's not through them directly. I got a guy.
Shit. All right, this is your weird thing. I'm letting you be. All right, I got here. This was a
Ever seen one of those
amazing
things? You ever
price.
seen one of their peckers?
What, the elvish pecker? It's so long and thin. It's like a bick.
It's crazy. It's like an eel.
I know, and it looks at you. It follows you around the room like the Mona Lisa. Anyway, let's cut the
Strange.
mics back in when you're editing this letter, Bentley. This is just reduced price. I just cut this price, $50K. All right. We're selling at $800,000 regular here, $900,000 if you can only pay in gift cards, or $700,000 up front if you can pay in cash. All right, I got an amazing price for this Druidic-style 3-story home with 5 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. Not sure what a half bathroom is. I think it's just a toilet, which to me is not like
What's it for? Like a dwarf?
Yeah. Listen. The buyer needs
Hey, Marty,
to
I love
sell.
you. Marty's one of our agents. He's a dwarf, and I love him. But I would love to kill him.
Yeah.
He's disgusting.
He never comes to the Christmas parties every year. Never comes.
Yeah, well, what the fuck?
Listen, the buyer needs to sell this house right now. If you're listening, it might already be too late. I need you to contact me ASAP. And again, that's bought the dream dealer at closergroup.I want a new house. I'm sick of my house and I want to buy a new one. And I'm looking to you to help me find you a better house for me to live in with me and my family who I love.com. So go ahead and email me. The more questions you ask, the higher the price gets. It's a confidential client, all right? Do not ask me who it is. Papa John's home is fuck. God damn it. Fucking said it. Ah, shit. Fuck. All right, ignore that, cut it. Home is a bright and sunny first floor plantation with plantation shutters and hardwood flooring throughout. Not sure why plantation stuff is so popular with rich white people houses. We're not going to touch that one.
Neoclassical. Most beautiful style home.
Yeah, if you want to live like Foghorn Leghorn in a white suit, you get a neoclassical home. You get some
A lot of
very
them they're all starting off at $500,000. It's a great deal. It's wild stuff.
great deal. You get some
wild
big
stuff.
columns. You'll put a rocking chair on there. And
Big white pillars in front. You could stand out. You could go out on your balcony. You could wear your white suit.
smoke your cigarette through a long cigarette holder, perhaps.
You could fan yourself. Gets hot here.
Anyway, this has all the features. It has a powder room for cocaine and a laundry room for your slaves. The second floor features 2 bedrooms, an office,
Bart,
or
we
a
can't say
possible
that.
6-bedroom. Can't say what?
Oh, the slave shit.
Okay, yeah, I'll drop it. Let me just
People
keep
aren't
reading.
supposed to have those anymore.
Let me just keep reading. I'm sorry. I'll drop that. We'll edit that out. It's got a full
kid.
bath. It's got
You
its
can
own.
do this, right?
Yeah, he can do it. He's playing Fortnite right now. Don't bother him. He'll fucking flip out if you interrupt his Fortnite.
I just want to give him $100. He's a good kid. Here you go.
Just
Hey,
slide
pal.
it by him. All right.
Hey, buy yourself a shirt.
He's just gonna. Yeah, he's got all the Supreme stuff. He's got all of his dry fit. He's got all of his, hype beast stuff. I don't know what he does.
What the fuck are you talking about?
He bought a brick that said Supreme on it the other day. I don't know what the fuck that means.
What, you mean he's like a fairy?
No, it's not a fairy thing. It's like a cool guy thing. Like the cool guys wear that now. He's a cool guy, ain't you, Bentley?
They
You're
wear
a cool
just
guy?
T-shirts? What the fuck?
You a cool guy, Bentley? You cool? Yeah, kids don't wear
He's
suits
not fucking
anymore.
listening. He's not fucking
He's
listening.
fucking playing Fortnite. He'll be fine. All right, so it's got a full bath. It's got its very own slave quarters. It's got a storage shed, high ceilings, driveway for off-street parking. Papa John has told me he's got to move right now because he's going to go all John Wick, but for trying to kill Herman Cain. He says he's going to try to kill Herman Cain. So I don't know what's up with that, but I got a new home here, and it's all set and ready to go. You got anything else? I got one more.
I sold all the rest of my shit. You know me.
Right. Well, I know. That's why they call you Regis the Closer. Well, they call you that because it was your dad's last name.
They
But,
call me that because it's my last name. You better
like
watch it.
your name couldn't be Regis the Closer.
Why the fuck would it be Regis
Like
the
a
Closer?
nickname. It'd be a nickname.
Why do I need a nickname? What am I, like a mascot?
I got a nickname. What's wrong with having a nickname?
Like I'm the Caesar from Little Caesars.
Yeah. Anyway, sound the red alarm, boys. This home, the last home I have for sale, I know this one's going to be huge. All right, I'm putting this out. It's going up tomorrow. This home is right next to a Hooters. We got a Hooters next door, fellas. Do not live here with your wife. If you come to me, try to buy this home, and you say your wife is going to live there with you, I will not sell you this home. It is a waste of time, and on principle, I will not sell to a man who plans to live here with his wife. Potentially, all right, this home is perfect for a kooky divorcee or a white-haired tan guy that waves around the keys to his Lamborghini to 18-year-olds. It's a buttermilk ranch-style home, 2 private master suites, full-size garage, and one beautiful, I'm telling you, this melts my heart, beautiful 3rd-story deck that allows you to look down into the outdoor patio of the Hooters restaurant next door. And I was up here, folks. I had to rub my eyes.
Got a spyglass up there.
This allows you unprecedented cleavage vantage point access. I mean, we're talking about just the full kit and caboodle. I'm up there, I'm stomping my foot like Tex Avery Wolf, and the hooting and howling, and the girls are laughing and loving it. It's got a spacious bedroom, huge walk-in closet. It's got full Polish tile, which is like European tile but installed upside down. 2nd floor is a spacious living room with a fireplace, and the oversized dining area has been destroyed. I went in there with a sledgehammer and I busted up the dining area. I busted up the oven. I busted up the kitchen. I smashed it to bits because the man who is going to be living here will be taking most of his meals at Hooters. Entertain your friends, invite them over. If they get into arguments with their wives, you will be the talk of the town. Homes like this don't go on the market. They usually get sold privately and stuff like this. Prime real estate next to a Hooters. Do not miss this opportunity. And we're starting sales here at $100 million.
That's a steal. That's a fucking steal.
I mean, you look at my phone. I already got 17 voicemails about this house. It's going nuts. All right.
Maybe I should buy it.
Hey, it'd be perfect for you. You're not married still, are you?
Technically, I am.
Well, technically, Would it technically be adultery then, or is there an understanding?
Well, she thinks I'm dead.
How'd you pull that one off? Where's she? Where's she live?
No, I'll say.
All right. Well, I hope she doesn't
Thinks
track
I'm
you down.
dead. It's,
I would have
it's
changed
fine.
your name. So you have a business in your name. If she would Google you, she'd find out.
She can change her name if she wants. I don't care. Fuck it.
All right, well, whatever. You want to talk about the new project me and you have kind of built up together, the Bachelor Hills?
Oh yeah, I mean this kind of goes with what we were just talking about, the Hooters
Yeah,
house.
exactly, a little bit. Except this is not quite as high end as the Hooters house. But the Bachelor's Hills is a condominium project that me and Regis have started together. Built it from the ground up, developed it. And this is a housing establishment for men only, all right? Men only. Listen, we say Bachelor Hills, women will go there, assume you're single, right? Married men can do it, but I tell you what, if you're going to be a married man buying into the Bachelor Hills, you're going to have to buy it under an LLC in your name, so it cannot be tracked back to you from your wife. All right? Because we have a clandestine operation here, and all men will be thoroughly interviewed to make sure that their wives do not know about the Bachelor Hills. So, if you're a bachelor...
Essentially what it is like the Villages in Florida, but it's for guys who want to be able to just go to a place to jerk off or fuck a Hooters waitress.
Or, cheat on their wives or whatever.
Yeah. Play video games.
Yeah.
Not wipe for a week.
If you want to go
stuff
there,
that women make you do.
If you want to watch The Irishman, you can go there. It's a nice, secure place that's just for you. I will say we don't want any guys having the mistresses live here.